Hello, everyone, and welcome back to session 54 of Echoes of the Forgotten. Okay. But yeah, we're ready to go. I don't have anything to tell you. We'll wait a second for the thing to pop up. Hey, there it did. Darren can go on right ahead and tell everyone what happened this time.
Last time on Echoes, the gatekeepers woke up and set about figuring out what to do next. Initially, Christine planned to return to Ghislaine to see her mother, and Osiris decided it's time to go home for more than a few nights. Wishing farewell to everyone one at a time, sorrowful goodbyes were said, some took it better than others. Terra, being upset by this news, went and sulked before unloading a heap of magic on the jungle and lighting a section on fire. At the same time this was happening, Xavier was off wandering the beach, approached a random ship by itself, far from the rest, and decided to have a chat with the crew. This turned out to be Ophiuchus' ship. Fucius? Who knows how to pronounce his name? And when he questioned what the party had been doing for the last several days, Xavier dumped all the info he had and tried to clear some things up. This partially worked, but as he was leaving, with Osiris waiting nearby at this point, Ophiuchus made an offhand comment about Selena potentially being in danger if nothing would be done. Xavier took this a bit literally, rushed back to warn everyone that an army was currently on the way to murder Selena, and like a twisted game of whispers, it all got out of control. At this point, putting out the sudden jungle fire, though, took precedent as Terra fled from the group and Christine tried to console her. This didn't go well. The fire was put out, and Christine returned alone. The party discussed their next course of action while Akfer tried to speak to the rambunctious scamp, and in the end, he returned alone as well before they chose to join Ophiuchus. They returned to the ship, got a more clear message that it wasn't an immediate threat to Selena, only a potential one, and they still chose to join him in dealing with Zircon at Amonte. Terra, who'd been missing for some time now, slipped aboard the ship or the group without noticing, and now, with another evening having passed, the ship preps for their job.
So yeah, as the morning begins, we did have a scene for Christine and Aqua to start, I believe, if that's still on the table.
May have forgot to plan, but I'm willing to wing it.
Yeah, you did. I also am willing to wing it.
Yep. So, Aqua was gonna wake up early, go walking to look for said individual after some thought, overnight from the previous evening.
Yeah, I imagine.
If yeah.
I assume if you're like early, she's probably still in the place that she stayed at, but probably wouldn't be too hard to even find.
He hasn't the slightest clue of where that was. He just knows he's going to walk along the dock for places where people would have stayed. Sort of, if they look like they're up, poke his head in and ask if a red-headed individual was here. Red-haired individual. Red-haired.
Nah.
Would you like me to roll anything for this?
Searching for Christine?
Yep. Just
she is the only person around who would look
What?
like Christine. So you know what? Roll a perception with advantage.
Not streetwise.
You're looking for Christine?
Don't roll two ones.
You rolled one.
You're okay.
Yep.
Get you skilled.
So, I find Christine, I assume.
Yeah.
Imagine you're just told the room and knock on the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
She opens, sees you, doesn't shut it immediately.
Wait, what?
She doesn't shut it immediately, seeing it's you.
You, busy?
Not particularly, no.
Figured we could have a
Mostly
bit of a
busy.
talk before meeting up with everyone else.
She
If
steps
you're
aside to
willing
let
to
you in.
humor it. Thank you.
As
Aqua
you
will
walk
step
through,
in and,
close-
yeah.
As you walk through, she closes the door.
Just,
What is it you wish to ask, I guess?
give a bit of thought to things that were said amongst everyone.
Oh, goody.
What I understand, it's... Well, you've been forced into a bit of a weird spot again.
At
And,
this point, I feel like it's more of a common occurrence than a push every now and then.
I just, I understand if it's a inner push to make you want to leave and follow what you believe is right. I guess. With everything going on, I mean, I borderline consider just walking away.
I said some things and was very rash the day before, but believe me, I had all right to with what happened. While I do still wish, I have really had enough of a lot of this and just would like something, the smallest thing, to get the final bits of anything to what I've been trying to do. It's hard. It's hard to really not ignore what could happen. And I hate that. I hate it.
It's justifiable hate. I guess mostly it was. I'm not always the best at comforting any of you. Just
Oh, I think you've done
want to
obviously more
try
than
and make it
most.
clear that I understand to a degree why you may have said some of the things you did. But I also want to say that perhaps we rescue your. Well, I guess she's your full sister. Wait, was it full? Yeah. I guess she is a sister to you. We at least try and get her out safely. Then we can say our goodbyes once we get back to Tempest?
Tempest.
Whether you're ready for a goodbye then or not.
I don't know. I really don't know. And if things are going in the direction where they're going, what would even happen if, like, Selena's doing her thing, Osiris is going off? What do we do? Keep going?
I don't plan to stop until I've managed to clear each and every one of your names. None of you deserve to have that bounty put on you.
To be fair, it's not like I really doing good to get the bounty on us in the first place. I was very much an important figure for that to happen. If I wasn't there, it would most likely not have happened.
Even so, we probably wouldn't have went there if it wasn't for, well, the time, I guess, my need to quell some things and the quote-unquote parole officer of mine wanting to visit a temple.
I guess.
Let's call it a bit of an equal issue, but either way, my resolution is my long-term goal, even though I've never really wanted to speak to any of you, is trying to clear up some of that corruption. I think with some time to think, that's a resolution I've come to.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I too would also like to take down the person who decided to manipulate me at the time and then immediately drug me to then knock me unconscious and put me in a cell. I feel like that's valid justification for some kind of payback, at least. But it's just so many things just keep happening out of nowhere, and it feels like the whole world is collapsing in general, with all these things piling on one after the other, and it just feels like I can't do. I just want to know who I am. I just want to actually feel like I have control somewhere. And so far, the world's been telling me I don't.
You're ready to take that control, though, aren't you? To grip the metaphorical bull ox by its horns.
I like to prefer taking the chains that have been around me and breaking them.
Oh, breaking chains is fun.
Hopefully, I can.
If I can do anything to assist in that when the time comes, you let me know.
I will keep that in mind, but you've already done enough. Really.
I'll leave you to get ready, but no harm in asking. I'm not usually one for the physical contact a lot of people do, but would you like a hug?
I think for like for a short second, she's like surprised, and then she just is a bit curious, and then just like goes in for the hug anyway.
And you get, in response, what would be the equivalent of a bear hug, but in lion form.
Lion hug.
Do you lift her up as well?
Yeah.
She is small. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, actually, not as small as she once was, but still shorter.
And you snap her spine. Whoops.
Probably. No, she's got the constitution to survive the hug.
Roll strength for strength.
No, can I roll con?
No.
Can I roll con?
Strength for your muscles to hold your bones in place.
Selena would be.
It's not a too hard of a hug.
See, is
That's
that
a pretty
lack of
gentle hug.
control or amount of strength?
Alright, roll on the table.
Actual, I need to know.
No.
Which one of us? I'll happily roll a hard magic table.
Someone said yes, someone said no.
I think we both said no there.
You know what?
Before you said yes.
I'm gonna roll on this.
I didn't hear no from you. Hey,
I
44's a good one.
I thought that was a 42 for a second. I was like, are you serious?
I can roll a 42.
You probably could.
Oh god.
Oh my god. That's close, fam.
But as the hug,
But yeah, Mark will let you down after a moment and give you just a nod and let himself out.
Yeah, she sort of stands there a little bit, just as the silence comes around, just in thought. There's definitely like more serious thought than normal, but calmness that's usually not there. Small smile, but otherwise back to what she was doing to prepare for what's to come.
That's probably better than what he's doing. He's off to find breakfast.
Where
Yeah.
did you stay, Christine?
A nicer place.
The nicer place that I stayed at?
A different place, I think.
Okay.
She stayed at a nice place that was expensive. You stayed at a nice place with people that was
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. You stayed with people.
Different
I stayed
kind of
with
nice
without.
place.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money.
Hey, I mean, maybe they're next door to each other. Who knows?
next on the docket is a Cyrus thing.
We'll deal with that in a bit, though.
Okay.
I'll think about after this. So, basically, after the day, you guys roll up. This conversation happens. As you guys have finished up your rounds in the morning, morning happens and whatnot. Ophiuchus tells you all that you have a few hours to kill before they'll be setting sail. So if there's anything you have to grab, do it. This is when those who buy rations go shopping, grab your things. And then another hour or so later, you all meet back up on the ship when Ophiuchus is there. He's like,
I think it's actually in the afternoon. I think they're leaving at
"Afternoon?"
night.
There you go.
Whenever.
So yeah, you have most of it. Either way, the day passes. Unless there's anything you guys don't want to do during the day, then you can all meet back up at the ship, ready for it to take off.
I do not have anything particularly, honestly. I think it was just that minor bit of shopping for rations, which I would do as not too late, but just later in the day in general, just to rest.
Yeah.
That's really it.
So yeah, you all regather on his ship as he's getting ready, and they take it from here.
Yeah, as you all gather aboard the vessel, you can see that the group of small kobolds and lizard folk that probably children are being shooed off the boat by a couple of the men as you're getting on. Ricky's there, just being like, "Come on, like I'm the strongest. You've seen me. I beat all those dudes." Points to the kids like, and the kids, one of the guards like, "Ricky, you're gonna die." Just sort of kicks him off the boat.
Jesus Christ.
Is this a child
foreboding.
sort of thing where we're just easing children off the boat?
He doesn't literally kick him off. He more like he's like shooing him away. Picks him up by the scruff of his little kobold neck and is like, "Okay, you go over here now," and just puts him on the dock.
Eventually, it gets to the point where he actually just kicks him into the water. Ricky is nothing but persistent. He's like, "Help! I can't swim!" And it's like, "No, you can." Oh yeah. Makes his way to like one of the ladders at the end of the dock. As the rest of you are on board, you see that Afuka seems to be manning the wheel while looking at everything, getting ready. And as the last of you hops on, the last secure lines to the port have been taken away, and you hear the winching from down below of an anchor being lifted up. Is there anything you want to do before you guys set sail, like immediately before?
Not particularly.
I have no intention of talking to anyone of the crew, and at the time, party members, some of them not really. So shrug.
I was looking for a mop.
If I'm told to do something, I'll try to do it, but otherwise I'll just
I'll
stay on
help
my
out
own.
the crew. If they need
I
help.
I doubt they could use any help that I can give.
How are you helping out the crew?
Well,
With your experience in boating.
I helped out on the other ship.
They didn't have enough crew members.
That's fair, but I still helped out.
You do your best to help out. Like
Yeah.
you try to do the things that they did in the previous ship, like the stuff that the lizard folk asked you to help with. But when you go to, most of the
Someone's already doing
crew, someone's usually already doing it because everyone on the ship seems to know exactly where they should be at the right time. It's a fully stocked, like you can tell that there are, from a glance, there is easily enough people here to run the ship. Probably a few more than necessary. Like, there's definitely this is not running at minimum crew. After a
yeah.
bit, Nia's moving around. At some point, whoever's like hanging out on the deck, some of the crew get your attention. Those who have gone elsewhere on the ship, people come and basically be like, "Hey, Captain wants to see you."
Oh, okay.
And you're all gathered in the captain's quarters.
You know, I thought they would have been in the ocean before they actually did that, because it makes no sense to do it now.
No,
can
there's the
I-
point they're leaving. They're already setting sail.
Can I keep the mop
Okay.
on me?
Yeah.
Janitor cat.
And no one takes them off.
I didn't even get the mop off the ship, probably. I just have a mop.
You found it somewhere.
The camera cuts to some other ship where someone's like, "Where the hell's my mop?"
I like the idea it's the Dragonborn ladies, and she's like, "God damn it!"
I would never steal from her. Don't you make assumptions.
But from the fish market, maybe someone's mop.
As like some time has passed as you're all sailing, you sit into the office. You see him sitting on his desk. He seems to have a book open as he's reading from it as you all step in. Is anyone here not sure of the plan?
And raise.
You've given us the rough rundown, but maybe a little bit of a more in-depth would be pretty good.
Reiterating, the plan is you're gonna take a boat. The more in-depth thing is you're gonna take a boat, kill all the men, and not damage it. And then I'll tell you the rest of my plan. Because while you say you've done these things, I don't believe you.
Shrug.
I could tell you we fought a dragon and you probably wouldn't believe that either.
I mean, they were only lonely deckhands, the ones that I took out, so most of the muscle were off on the tower, so
This crew seems to be similar as he closes the book. They're not particularly strong men, they're just enforcers from one of Zircon's fleet. They tend to go to Firestalk Island, an island nearby. Nearby this island here, and we want to intercept them before they do so. I want to say that the boat should be damaged, but not unseaworthy. And if we capture it successfully, as some of you may have noticed, there is more crew here than there are jobs on the boat. You'll be going with them and causing a distraction. So when I say don't damage the boat, I mean no funny fire tricks and they'll burn down the sails and make it impossible for us to follow through with the second part of the plan.
Makes sense. I
If the
believe some of our
sails-
men.
If the sails were to take a tiny bit of damage, I'd have a little to repair, but that's it.
I believe a decent number of our magic users, or at least most of them, have some form of psychic only damage, from what I've seen. Or at least something that won't affect the ship.
I can do whatever it's needed. If you need a big fireball, I don't have to bring a big fireball.
As long as the boat is okay for you guys to sail it afterwards, that's all that matters to me.
Makes sense.
We'll do the best that is possible.
If you want to try and interrogate someone, you can try. I doubt they'll do anything for you for that.
Yeah, you don't usually get all that much honest information from the bottom rung people. If they knew anything at all, they probably wouldn't tell you.
Is anyone still not grasping the concept of the plan?
Looks between everyone.
My hand
Well, I
is no
think I
longer
have
raised.
anything. Was there anything else?
No, we're acting before dawn, so get some sleep. You've
Aye,
got some cots in the deck for you all.
Got it.
Oh, and don't stand in my crew's way. Let them work.
Wasn't planning on it.
I got the
Well, I guess I will retire then if there's nothing else you need me for.
He sort of just goes back onto his desk, opens the book again.
She just walks out.
Yeah, well,
I'm just gonna
I
go
quickly
find a
take my
place to
leave.
sit.
Apparently not.
Alright, so you all settle down for a nap.
She's
Getting
sort
sleep
of
again.
into a cot and kind of like tends to whoever's like nearer to her cot. It's like he's rather boring, isn't he? For someone who's as interesting looking as him.
Still irritated we have to kill people that might not deserve it.
Yeah, that's the fun part of this, isn't it?
I wager that they do.
What happens in war?
If someone getting stabbed,
Yeah, sure.
Right, well,
I hope
you
it's
all
me
get
and
some
my
rest. I'm gonna work on my blueprint here for a bit.
Alright, so you guys settle down. Those who are having a sleep go to sleep. As you were saying to AJ?
Oh yeah, I was gonna. What are you doing? Message me what you're doing first, and then I'll see if I can do it before or after. I'll need a perception check from everyone though. Into the tower.
Going to attack the party members.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah,
You
that
want me to
that
make
can.
a perception check? I'm so proficient with a +1.
My thing can go after your thing.
Did you say perception?
Yeah, into tower.
Is
I
Is
do
this
like my
scene
exceptions.
perception or is this a hero?
Yeah, this would be a C summon exception. Just check. Just let AJ go through all the rolls and make sure first.
Alright, because I have advantage in scene perception.
Okay, all good.
If it helps, I will Fortune of the Many.
Use all of my perks to reroll, add 2d4, and then do other things. I won't. It's too much rolling.
If I could do it all, fuck you.
I'd also like to
Seven.
activate Tides of Chaos and then immediately reroll the other die again.
As you all start like heading off to sleep, as like the lamps have been cooled down, Cyrus, Arkva, Xavier, and Sylvie all notice as Ophiuchus is like seems to be making the rounds on the ship, and eventually he goes into your area, has a look around, seems to squint, goes into a corner, drops down, picks something up, and starts walking back upstairs.
Picks something up.
Yep.
Can I roll to see if I see the object that he picks up?
Seems to be a creature. Seems to be something that's writhing in his hand. Seems to be a snake.
What colour's the snake? Or do I not see from here?
It's
I guess
dark.
it is kind of dark, yeah.
What's the snake smell like?
Snake.
So nearly everyone saw that except for Christine.
I must say, 3 of you rolled nat
Oh.
20s in that check.
Oh god, did I roll a nat 20?
It wasn't me.
I don't know.
Who did it, if I may ask?
Cyrus, Arkva, and Sylvie.
Hey, that would have been a 29.
Yo, AJ, what did I get? Did I get a 4?
You got an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that everyone else, like, between the group, like, noticing that, like, most people have eyes on that, like, and noticing Christine sort of looking away as she sort of, like, gently, like, taps Christine on the shoulder and is like, I have a funny feeling, but I think we may have a stowaway.
In what
The
regard?
captain over there just seemed to find a, random creature hiding behind a barrel. A snake, but I don't think that was really a snake.
Well, if you're thinking it's that kind of stowaway, then I really do not care. I'm just gonna turn back away.
Wouldn't
Fair
surprise me
enough.
if it's a little kid.
Let's hope it doesn't burn
Same
the ship
response.
down.
Well, can I get up and follow the captain back to his quarters?
Yeah. You get up and you start following him.
I'd advise maybe not, Xavier.
As you start walking, you hear like the creak of the staircase as he goes up, and then one follows when you do, and he turns around. We need you in fighting condition. Go back to bed.
About the stowaway you got in your hand there.
Stowaway, this is a snake. My people have many of these as familiars. Mine were just missing.
Okay. That's fine. If I may,
Mm.
if we're going to come across your former trainer, I'd like to see a bit firsthand, and, well, let's say, get a bit of my sea legs. I'm not that used to combat aboard the ship. If I may spar a few rounds before I retire for the night.
I'll have plenty of fighting tomorrow. As he closes the door into his cabin.
I'll gaze upon the moon before retiring.
Yep.
So, apparently his people have snakes as familiars.
he doesn't know what it is, but I was having a private conversation with Christine, so I'm assuming you were listening in.
I nod over to the warg in the fucking corner.
There's only ever so much room down here. A private conversation is literally next to one another.
Yeah.
I'm just whispering.
Again,
Gotta remember, some of us have very good hearing.
everyone's perception is pretty
I
nutso.
have a 19 passive. I hear everything, but I
can
know
hear
when to.
Osiris's breathing in his shell over there.
What
But-
does an 11 get me?
Good night's rest.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
you're not awake at night thinking.
I wish I had that in real life.
I
See,
have
I
one
have
character that
shit
wouldn't be able to
perception.
hear anything.
don't
She's got
think
a
so.
9.
Yeah.
Well, guess we better listen to the man and go sleeping. Nighty night.
Night.
I'm gonna, before I go to bed, I'm gonna open my eyes and divine sense. Anything out of the ordinary?
Not that I can
Yeah, as you divine sense, other than the familiar creatures you're with, King Celestial, nothing else.
Alright, you all settle down for sleep. Sleep comes to some of you faster than others, as usual. The rocking of the boat helps. For Osiris, though, as you fall asleep, you find it's only happened, I think, once before to you, where you feel that pull mentally that pulls you into the Atheneum, but against your will. As very shortly after you fall asleep, you open your eyes in the Atheneum, as you do when you want to, but not of your own volition. Standing in front of you is your the man, who you've seen several times before. As he looks towards you, he goes, "Well, you wanted a meeting, didn't you?"
See, about that, I may have not wrote down what I wanted to ask. Trying to find my notebook.
If you want to remember, I believe it was because you had that book you'd found in the Atheneum, and then you left, and then you came back, and the book was gone, and
book was
then
gone.
you forgot everything about coming here.
Yeah.
The forest.
You've
of
forgotten
demons.
all of your, you forgot everything about the jungle, so Osiris wouldn't even remember.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Well.
You asked me to see if Labrana could have some time to speak to you, and, well, she's found a little bit of time.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Yes, of course.
Do you want to make it? Is this something you need to make a deception check?
Sure, yeah, I can do that if you
Yeah.
want.
Just to be like, because clearly
Yeah.
it sounds like you're a bit off balance right now.
Yeah.
Blowing off God.
He looks at you. There's like you have that momentary pause. You're clearly off balance a little bit, and as you realize that if you did book something, you've lost the memories for whatever it was. Given your allies' recent states of multiple of them not remembering multiple days worth of stuff, probably not too surprising. But
Yeah, not fun.
he's like, "Are you okay?"
In all honesty, no. I don't remember booking an appointment with Labrana, and I wouldn't even know what it would be about.
There's like a noticeable pause in the two of you. It's like, so you're telling me that you booked an appointment with the god Labrana and you've forgotten why?
Look, it's not like me.
Oh, I'm
Over the-
not. I'm not judging you like, oh, you're so stupid. Why would you do this? This is a horrible idea. This is honestly a first. I don't expect most people would forget about an appointment they specifically asked with a god, and if it wasn't for your, well, favor she seems to show you, I don't think she would have made time for you at all.
Yeah, which makes it this almost worse because all that favor's probably gonna go out the goddamn window, and I don't even know why I wanted to talk to her. The past couple of days have been rough. We have no recollection of like almost 3, 4 days worth of events. Half of it was in a jungle that we just forest jungle, whatever the one that doesn't make me take 1 point of damage.
Jungle.
Jungle.
And
Take 2.
it's just I don't know. It's stressful. I don't know what's going on.
Sounds like you've been through a lot. Well,
Good luck.
to all, you have my best wishes, as if you were to leave here without seeing her, I think that would go even worse for you.
Oh yeah.
So, good luck. She's right through that door. Honestly, take any door. They all lead to her right now.
Even the exit.
Well, kind of just dusts his clothes, which aren't dusty because these are fabricated bits of memory and stuff. Time to fake it till I make it. And he steps through the door.
You step through. Um, like always, your little, Ilu is there with you. She always comes with you whenever you come here. As you go to walk through, she kind of gets detached from the top of your head where she's been sitting and just floats in the air. And she's just like, the guy's like, "Oh, sorry, little one, you can't go in there this time. Come in." And he just like takes her and walks off to somewhere else in the library.
Mhm.
She waves goodbye as the door starts to close.
He waves back and steps in.
You turn your attention to the tiefling woman, who very much like we described, she just looks like a librarian, as she's sitting at her desk that is, as always, piled with more books than is probably reasonable, and she flicks a page idly, reading along as you approach. And without even looking up, she's just like, "So you asked for my time, and then you don't even know why." She flicks another page.
I didn't want to lie. It's a lot has happened. I really wish I knew what it was that I wished to discuss with you, but
Well, I appreciate the honesty. I'm not going to lie myself. As this is my domain, I can tell you I definitely heard the conversation you had. I am aware of everything going on inside my realm. And that is a first.
not normally like me.
Well, I can at least help you out with one thing. I assume you wanted to talk to me because you were missing a book.
Was missing a book?
Yes, this one actually. And she picks up this very small, like leather-bound tome. It has like a very flary, like very bright, colorful spine. You no recollection in your own head about it. This book, in fact, well, at least this is the book that I caught you reading. I don't know how you got it, but well, it's not like you remember either.
You don't know how it... But this is your domain. Don't you have control over all that? Would it be not outside the realm of possibility that you did? Or is this an outlier? Whatever this
Well,
book is.
this book is not an outlier, but the fact that you found it is. I'll tell you an open secret, Osiris. This library, and she like holds one hand out and a like little, like kind of map. It's not like it doesn't show an actual thing. It's like this library is split into 3 sections. There's the public section, it like puts a little light above one part of it, but everyone can access at any point. There's the seeker section, light middle section, where only those who have actually done something to deserve it can have access to it. And that is where you have access. And then there is my section. There's a light at the very end. That section is for me. There are things there that I keep there for good reason. This book was meant to be in that section.
That's odd.
Yes, and yet you found it in the seeker section. Thankfully, it wasn't in the public area, but it's still an unknown.
Can things be moved from your section to another without your permission?
They're not meant to be.
That's not a no.
Well, it's also the first time it's happened, Osiris. It's not a surprise. I was not the original god of knowledge. Everyone knows this. And these areas, it's a lot to learn becoming a god.
Wouldn't know.
No. And ironically, as the god of knowledge, even I don't know.
I
Well-
assume the knowledge that went along with that book you would prefer to keep to yourself, and I suppose, as luck would have it, it is still kept to yourself now, because I have no memory of it.
Well, ironically, the knowledge of this book is meant to be kept to myself, but as she tosses the book across the library towards you, I already know that its knowledge has been interfered with, and that what was in it that I was trying to keep away has already been messed with. But even that is a black spot now, and I don't even know what you messed with.
I messed with?
Well, someone messed with it because this book, and she opens you get a quick moment to read through it as you realize there was something you weren't meant to mess with. No one was. You were meant to leave it alone. Everyone was meant to leave it alone. But you and your friends didn't leave it alone. And now, and she flicks to the more recent parts of the book, and every single page is black. The last entry of the book is the one that you remember reading. Not you, but
Cyrus
you read as
remembers.
yeah,
I don't remember.
well, Osiris doesn't remember. Last page would be the one where the mage who wrote the book was first arriving at the jungle, and then every
Right.
page after that is blacked out.
Right.
So you did something. Twice now you've entered my domain. You found a book you weren't meant to read. You've read it, and you've done something. First, you made Ilu, and second, you've blacked out one of my books.
What it's worth, I apologize. This is not my intent at all. Both times, maybe the first time I should have been a bit more careful, but both times I've had no clue that I was not supposed to peruse this knowledge.
No, that's true. It's not your fault that this one happened. Something else did it, clearly. What I'll say is if somehow you find out any information about the old god of knowledge, as that will help me figure out what's going on here as well, be sure to pass it along to me promptly. Because if something's happening here that I'm not aware of, that's a problem for more than just me.
If I find anything in relation to it, I will most certainly relay it.
And well, since you've forgotten about everything else you were meant to ask me about, you can leave if you want. I have a lot of reading to do.
Nod. Just one last thing. I will be taking some time to myself, so I apologize if I'm not right on top of it.
That's okay. I actually do have eternity. Probably.
He actually laughs at that.
Oh well, enjoy some R&R. Everyone needs some.
I will.
And then you can either leave the Atheneum or you can spend your time there, but you're allowed to leave her presence.
I live on that fast car that was in the background.
Yep.
Where'd you
Yeah,
get
so
that from?
if you want to spend some time in the Atheneum doing whatever you want, you can. Otherwise, you can return to regular sleep.
Regular sleep is fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what happens there.
As this is going on, the camera pans into the office of Captain Ophiuchus, as after Xavier has left his sight. Puts the snake down on the table, and then spends a couple minutes doing some other things in his room. Eventually makes his way to the door, opens it up once more, sees, and then closes it. Well, you're not mine. Sir, what are you doing on my boat, little one?
Slippery snake noises.
He then casts animal friendship and speaks in slippery snake noises, as this is his racial ability.
As the snake man talks to a snake.
Who'd have thunk it?
What did he ask again?
He's just asking what you're doing on the boat.
You know, just snake things. Slippering and snaking.
Are you hiding from your friends, I presume?
That is on the strong possibility spectrum.
Any particular reason? Are they untrustworthy?
I wouldn't trust the red one,
Which one?
and the fluffy one's a bitch.
Which one?
Oh god, he's a hobo? A hobo?
Okay. I understand now.
Yeah.
And the furry one's a bitch.
Uh-huh. He likes to shove his nose into other people's business. I wouldn't talk to him if I were you. You will have a much better time.
Noted. Are you going to be helping your friends? I assume you listened into the plan.
Maybe. Probably. Likely, yes. I will try not to burn down the boat.
Okay. Well, if you want to keep pretending, you can stay with me until what's going on and then try and slip onto the other boat somehow.
That is a great idea, and I think you are number 2 of my favorite people. Not wait, number 3. I forget about that sometimes.
That's pretty high. I don't think I should be that high. As he goes and opens a cabinet and pulls out a bottle of wine and a chalice as he looks over to you. Still a snake, and then he's like, do you want some?
I think they banned me from drinking.
Yeah, but you're not talking to them anyway. Are you gonna drink in that form?
I mean, I'm kind of curious how it would go. I go to a man.
Wait, you're not Ricky Young, right? How old are you?
No, I'm not. But how old am I again? I'm 23. I am of the legal drinking age.
Roll persuasion.
But I
What
am
legal
23.
drinking age? You're on the
That's why
high
I said-
seas.
That's why it's persuasion, not deception.
Yeah.
There isn't
Alright.
a drinking age, there's just drinking age.
Are you drinking as Terra or a snake? Because that determines what he's putting the liquid in.
Initially gonna drink a snake. Tara's very curious what drinking the snake will be like.
Puts out like a saucer and puts a couple milliliters of wine in it, and then
The tongue.
You just lick it aggressively.
Yeah, yeah.
and then he pours half a cup and starts. He opens up the book that he was reading before, and is drinking while reading it.
I will
Okay.
attempt to read the book
Okay, so it
with
turns
my
out
lack
snakes
of ability to read.
suck in the water like a kitchen sponge.
Yeah,
Oh, that's weird.
Weird.
they just roll up in that thing and curl up.
Yeah, so they don't use their tongue, they literally shove their snout in and just sponge it up.
That's
Mm,
amazing.
alcohol.
As you're reading as you go to read the book, can you roll me a history check, please?
I can't. Intelligence is not my forte. Hey, that's pretty good.
This isn't common knowledge, and it's sort of in the middle of a passage, and in the middle of a very in-depth chapter. It's not like a picture book or anything, but it seems to be a history book from this section of the world, and it seems to be in the middle of what was one of the last phases of the unification of the KC, which was the total v everyone else war. And this passage seems to be talking about some of like the more influential people in that regard.
How long into my wild shape would you say I would be, considering the wild shape only lasts an hour?
Probably when he's finished reading, you probably transform. You're probably a little bit too. You're probably a little buzzed, so you transform into like a woman in this like snake form, like position wise on top of his table, and he's like, he doesn't shove you off the table, he just sort of just like nudges you away from the book so he can turn the page. And he continues.
Also, if you're
Probably just lay there and keep reading.
Are you using the wild shape?
That was using wild shape, yeah.
Yeah, wild shape lasts a number of hours equal to half your druid level, so you can be an animal for a lot longer than an hour.
I thought it was an hour.
No.
That's pretty well.
Ooh, it'd be 3 hours for you.
Okay.
But yeah,
I probably have been wild shape for a while, so.
well, you look over his book, you like read the book for a bit with him. Yeah, it's just interesting figures and notable members of like both sides of the war. And yeah, just that's all he's reading about.
He sort of, as you're like reading in the book, and like he's like at this point you notice a second like a goblet. It's like, you can finish that up. There's a cot over there. You should sleep if you're helping your friends.
You may be battling with my number 2 favorite person slot.
Again, I should be way lower.
It's my choice.
It's
This is my favorite person slot. You don't get to decide. You were number 2.5.
I feel like
Well,
that should be way lower. That's sort of sad.
People say I'm pretty sad a lot.
So, as you glance over before you start drinking, there seems to be the passage he seems to be reading seem to be about a guy, the Kerrikan Reaver, who is one who did like a serious blow to the Achaia forces. And that's interesting because Osiris's last name is Kerrikan.
Oh.
Neat.
yeah. After a while, he drinks a bit more, and then he like goes to retire, go to bed.
If Tara is still awake while he goes to sleep, like is asleep, she will attempt one mending on his robo arm.
You try to sneak up to him, and you cast mending on the robo arm. It doesn't change much that you can see. You see when he is interacting with things, he tends to use his regular hand a lot more. And when you cast mending on it, none of the rust seems to vanish off the arm. It doesn't seem to have changed in any way you can physically see. But you do hear a few things click when you do cast mending on it.
Okay, then interesting. Tara will retire after that.
As
Some time passes.
as time passes, you all.
Some people come down and rouse most of you. Those who aren't in the Fucus's room get awoken up by someone quietly shaking your cots or wherever you're sleeping on to arouse you. Is like, all right, still a few hours before dawn, so get up, get ready. Maybe half an hour before we're on them.
Alright.
Today is going to be a bloody dawn.
Potentially. Probably.
Hand me my mop.
Not your mop.
It's just sitting next to you. Yeah, the guy like looks over, picks it up, and just goes, "Okay," just gives you the mop.
It's mine.
Improvised weapon.
Listen, Tavern Brawl is quite a feat.
Was one of the considered ones too. I just never took it.
It's a good feat. The dude wakes you all up and then gets heading up. Terry, you're awoken shortly after this when there's a knock on Ophiuchus's door and hear out. He gets up suddenly. As he looks down, he remembers you're there and he like nudges you awake as well.
Alrighty. She'll get up and probably try to have a thunk on what she should make herself to kind of not be a part of her group, but also not stand out too much.
As you wake up, you see that Ophiuchus isn't in the room. As you all eventually make your way on deck, you see that he's talking to the steerer of the boat who was doing it overnight. Navigators drive the boat. Helmsman. That's the word. The night helmsman. The night helmsman, as he starts just talking to him about like what has happened overnight.
Means it's just an elm tree.
It's actually a treant. As he just is, like lets him go as he takes over for a bit.
Helmsman passes you all heading downstairs. One of the crew, you can tell is one of the more senior members, whispers to the group of you that have gathered and is like, "Alright, now you might not know this, but sound travels pretty far over the water. So, soon, we're going to get into position and you're going to stay there and not move. It's almost impossible to sneak up on a ship, but we're going to get as close as we can."
Alright.
Nods in agreement.
In the time you have, is there any preparations you guys like to make before the ship goes on silent mode?
The only thing particularly that I do is I just swap from my studded leather to my marine leather armor, just in case.
Alright.
That's really about it.
You just let me know when I can see onto the bow of the ship and within 120 feet.
Yeah, once we get close enough to actually sort of see movement and stuff, if we're able to get that close, I'll roll a perception.
I can distance spell something pretty far.
You notice as like you go up, like the other boat you were on really only had rigging that was like full sail or no sail.
Yeah.
This one seems to be like partially lowered to be quiet but still move. And there seems to be riggers on deck ready to raise them when they need to for full-on assault speed. As another one of the senior members who's like with you as you're all sort of starting to hunker down. So the captain said he's gonna.
I was gonna say one other thing of that I do is like a sort of self-preparation. I just wanted to ask. Armor of Agathist, is it very bright, particularly, or is it just?
It's sort of. I leave that description up to the player. If you feel like it's an actual like if you want shield to be an actual like membrane of magic around you, that's what shield is. So it depends on how you want to run Armor of Agathis. If you want it to be.
As a manifest of spectral frost, which
Yeah,
is
I was
spectral.
gonna make it basically like just like sort of like cold like flames like spectrally just all around. Like almost like the armor's like lightly on fire, but yeah, but that's what I was going to do is like a preparation because it lasts for an hour and I was gonna cast it at second level,
Yep, yeah.
giving myself 10 temporary hit points.
As,
So you see there's more than a few people currently running around grabbing things, getting themselves ready. So yeah, you guys fit into that quite well. You saying, Sam?
Huh?
You said you were going to say something?
I was, no, I'm good.
Oh,
I think I was
okay.
commenting on the
I
armor.
was adjusting my chair.
Okay.
as
Is Christine wearing her platinum ring?
Oh, good question. I didn't thought about that. Yes, she would be.
I'll gently tap Christine on the shoulder and give her a warding bond.
The spell still goes through, but she's like, as you tap it, she just slaps your arm away.
It's no
Tell me
close.
before you do that. I need to stay far is the problem.
Just stay within range.
I'll try.
Alright, anyone else doing any prep work before the ship goes on quiet mode?
Not much a rogue can really do other than like keep an eye out and prepare to stealth.
Bonus action
Meditate.
hide.
I mean, I can roll stealth, but I'm assuming we're all going to be doing that soon.
I'll
As
do a religion roll. Yep,
Religion.
no god here.
That's my normal day.
What we're about to do is not just.
as you all start
Perspective.
getting ready to hide, one of the guys is just like, the captain's gonna make several engagements with the ship. We're not gonna use any of the weapons unless necessary. As he points to one of you probably noticed, but it wasn't a point out. There seems to be a mangonel and a crossbow mounted onto the deck of the ship. And ballista?
Yeah, big old
Yeah,
ballista.
ballista.
We'll stay.
We're not going to be doing any of that until necessary. We'll probably make 3 circles on it each time we get close enough to the ship. We might even collide with it. That'll be our chance to jump on. So be ready. And it will be a bit slippery. After that, he'll give some space for a bit, and he'll start firing weapons at the sails.
Alrighty. I'm assuming all of our focus is on people on board.
He's like, also watch out for their weapons. They're not going to be as kind as we are to them. And if you can't get rid of the people on those key points and any people that look particularly strong, then we might as well be dead. So focus people who look to be important or not generic. Like me. And he points to himself, and Gary points to like another lizard folk.
Points to himself as an adult.
Got it. Kill anyone that looks like Ricky.
That's fucked up. Why would you kill a kid? He's like 5.
Are you not Ricky?
No.
No.
All lizard folk look the same when he's a kobold and a child.
Oh no, I don't want to call.
All scaly creatures look the same.
But yeah, so you guys make whatever preps you. Those who can do prep, do prep. At a certain point, there is a very quiet message passed through crew, which is basically get ready and then be quiet. And you watch as the sails, which were as full as they could be, are completely withdrawn and pulled as tight as they can be against the dock. All roping is secured as best it can, and then everyone on the ship, all the crew, basically grab hold of banisters and they just stand in silence as the ship glides as quiet as it can through the water. About 5 or so minutes later, the other vessel starts to come into sight, as in the darkness, without the sun, it's still very limited how far you can see. How far were people hoping to get before things go down? I think Osiris, you said 120 feet?
120 feet and able to see onto the bow's at the front.
There's the front, yeah.
Basically, I'm waiting until I see a large enough group of people to cast a spell.
Fair enough. Well, initially, you guys come in, you see the first ship start to appear out of the darkness. Those are good dark vision with your eyes have settled. Start to spot the first signs of it. As you get closer and closer, the ship closes in. It's first couple, it's hundreds of feet away, and and you get closer and closer. About 600 feet. Still no alarm is raised yet.
Does the ship look anchored?
No, it is moving.
Okay.
You can see its sails are drawn. The only reason you guys are catching it is because you appear to be coming at it at an angle. If you were coming up on its rear, it would easily be outspeeding you right now. Keep getting in. 400 feet becomes 300.
Oh, I could, but I don't really want to.
300 feet.
Wait till we get close.
300 feet starts to get. You start to get closer, and then you hear a single ding 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 ding, and you see a light immediately appear at the top of the crow's nest. As this far out, you can barely hear the sounds of someone suddenly raising an alarm, as it appears you guys have been seen at about 200, just over 200 feet away.
Oh.
The mast, immediately all the sailors on deck jump to action, and the sails are dropped into full sail, and immediately speed picks up as you start moving towards it. AJ, what's the movement speed of the ship again? Do we have
the boat can move at 3 miles per hour. That's the one thing I didn't convert to. I think it's 40 feet, 50 feet around, I think.
Oh.
Probably, no, wait, let me think. 3 miles per hour in
Like it should be like 180. Like it should be crazy.
4.4 feet per second, so times 6 for around is 20.
Or we can just look at the
For-
stats for a boat, which is 35 feet
35.
while sailing with the wind.
Yeah.
Really? I thought it was way faster than that.
Oh.
35 feet with the wind is a standard movement action.
If that's the case, I could probably just dive in and swim after him.
Yo,
Well-
same.
Same, actually.
You're 200 feet
those-
away.
Not me.
Yeah, it's 200 feet. For the first round, essentially, of this combat, the ship closes in at full speed as it can, covering about 70 feet as you're about 130 feet out, before you start seeing activity on the other ship as people... From this distance, you can see sailors bursting out from below deck, still pulling on clothes as they attempt to grab whatever weapons they can. The round passes, the other ship basically prepares. This round happens, you guys start closing further, 120 feet. Those who want to do things can. Osiris.
120? Sure.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Did you want to go first?
Yeah, why not? Can I see any particular people that don't just look, standard? Like anyone that looks dressed differently, or... Probably not, I imagine it's too dark still.
Yeah, you have dark vision, don't you?
I do,
Dark vision's in black and white.
yeah.
You're 120 feet away.
Does anyone outline looks different in terms of
Well,
clothing?
it's 120 feet away, right?
Yeah,
Your dark vision is 60 feet?
yeah. That's
Then
what I was
no.
like, yeah. Yeah, okay, cool.
You can see people moving and running around, but you can't tell any distinct features at this range.
How many people
Nice
can I
to have
see?
dark vision.
1, 2, 3,
Like, from
4, 5,
the
6,
angle I'm
7,
on.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can see probably 11 people or so running around, though you can't tell if it's 11 people or less, but moving around sporadically and dipping and diving around and having different shapes, because it's mainly just shadow play,
11
this
running
distance,
around.
potentially.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna skip number 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna cast Crown of Madness on number 7.
Okay. 11.
120 feet. And because I feel like having fun, let's do that with a heightened spell at disadvantage.
So it's disadvantage as well.
Maybe we should have discussed what we were gonna do.
Yeah, we did, but I just picked a random target. So I'm like, pew.
What's your DC?
Give you time.
My DC is 16.
Alright, it fails.
Cool. Whichever one it is, tell me so I can put the thing on him.
Bosun 29.
Bosun. Okay.
Bosun these nuts.
Interesting. Got him.
No banditos fried.
And I'm just pointing at another random shadow. So besides him, it's number 11. Whatever number 11
10.
was. Yeah, because he's not included in the 11 people, and he was
That's not
number.
It's not an 11.
He was number 7.
Team.
Alright.
Okay.
So what spell is this?
Crown of
Crown of
Madness.
Oh.
Alright.
I just pointed at a random one, which is like the last person on the list of people you gave me. Attack that.
Okay.
That is me. I have nothing to do.
Alright, Osiris.
Alright, so while that was a fantastic little bit of combat, I'm
What combat?
sorry, but I cast Hypnotic Pattern,
That's fine. That was also my plan.
Okay.
and it's
Oh
big.
boy. Oh boy.
Yes,
Alright.
so you can get everyone except.
It's a 30-foot cube, so it would also go below deck.
Does it pass through full cover though?
I am reading the entire thing now.
I think not. I think because it's like a
It says each
flashbang.
creature within the area who sees the pattern must make a wisdom
Sees the
saving
pattern.
throw.
Yeah.
Alright, so those below deck won't be affected. So.
That's
Either way, effective use of item.
let's
Let's get a,
do that.
yeah, we've got a bunch of saves. Is it a save or is it HP threshold?
It is a
Save.
save. It is
Yep.
Alright.
Go target them all,
Yep.
and then
My fantasy grounds like that.
yeah. If you all, if no one else has a before getting into a close thing with the boat, roll initiative after Osiris does his saving throw and stuff.
I mean, I could chuck down the bottom, but I think that'd break him out of it.
Ooh.
I think I'm just gonna prepare my my arms, and that's all I'll do, just to prepare.
Yeah, I think it does actually have a square.
That's
A lot shorter.
Upcasted,
shorter.
I think. Isn't
Oh yes. Did you upcast? Does it increase the size for upcasting?
Does it?
I don't have access to
No,
those
it's-
level spells.
The square she's putting down is a fairy fire. That's
Yeah,
Terra.
Okay.
This
Ah,
one. Yeah,
okay.
this one is hypnotic.
Okay. We're making sure.
That's more like it.
Yeah.
How pretty.
A bunch succeed. A couple fail.
That's fine. More than one failed, good enough for me.
Please tell me it's Bosun 29.
You'll find out, won't you?
I hope that helps slow down the ship because there are a bunch of people not doing anything.
Is there an effect for? There it is, incapacitated.
Yeah, they are incapacitated
Yeah.
and have a speed of 0, so they're just sort of like
Fuck.
got a dumb look on their
Oh my
face,
God,
just
my
looking at
rolls.
these pretty lights.
Did you apply that effect?
I don't think I actually have an effect for incapacitated. I
It-
lied.
No, yeah, we do.
Yeah, if you do it, it should automatically apply to those who failed the check.
So if I just click,
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I hope that that's just my bad
Are you sh-
rolls done for the night.
are you
I don't-
sure? It seems like it did a
Yeah, Jay, I think that applied to everyone.
applied to 10 of them.
No, there. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, yeah, there are some that
24
aren't.
isn't? Yeah, no, you just rolled really well.
Yeah. I said
I
yeah,
thought,
we
by the
don't.
way,
Oh.
Jay said it, then more people succeeded than failed.
no. Only a couple. Only a couple failed. Only a couple succeeded.
Holy
I thought
moly.
it was the other way. I'm like, oh well, at least 2 people, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is
Hmm.
this is what's this deck save just now?
I think that was
Fairy
Terra
fire
casting
on this.
fairy fire.
Okay. Yeah, just hit the button because I can't tell. I forgot to clear. All right. With that, have everyone roll initiatives, and we'll begin. All right. You mean bidding, I guess.
Yeah. He'll make the save on his turn.
3, let's go.
Just need Xavier.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'll get a
Rose
direct-
going last. Well,
Hmm.
no, I'm going
No.
last.
You what, Dimitri?
Inspiration for that.
You do get inspiration for
Yeah.
that. All right.
That's hilarious.
Top of the order. You all see another shadow appear through the door as this guy walks up, sees a bunch of people doing nothing, and goes to the nearest guy and shakes him awake. I think that's can break the incapacitated, right?
Yes, I
Spell
think it
ends for an affected creature if any damage or if someone uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah,
Captain runs up and shakes the dude awake.
shakes a dude awake.
Is- The closest one, right?
Go for
Is that my boy Bosun 29?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, 29 wasn't.
But-
So it's 30. Oh no, yeah, 29.
Yeah.
Alright, and then
Actually, maybe one target the dude has a literal crown of metal on his head.
you know what? That's
No, It's just the sort of chains around its head.
It's still noticeable.
Fine.
He's in
fine.
Happy Land at the moment.
Yeah.
It kicks
Sorry,
hard,
I tried to be like, hey, if you got something to do first or last, we could. But then
You
Yeah.
did, but I took a wild guess going first. I didn't know what exactly you were doing.
Bandito 3 can't do nothing. Bandito 15.
I hope this has helped with the congestion of the combat tracker.
It has. This one is going to roll a fire crossbow across the water onto one of y'all. Let me roll a d10. That's a d100. Okay.
Nice.
Osiris, did I give you? Did I put on like cover and shit?
You mean like on my person?
Yeah. Is there like is there a cover mechanic?
Yeah, there's.
Oh,
should be-
Yeah,
hang on.
at the very top,
In my
mechanic.
actions, yes, I have.
Yeah, put normal cover on yourself because he rolls with disadvantage and with you in cover.
Could I have Slayer, AJ?
Sure. That's what this combat needs, a fucking walk.
More things.
What is she? Is she a warg now?
Yeah, she'll walk. They are walk. They are they today.
It's a war.
They don't give up you.
It's a war gear.
And then I need to find the other one. Alright.
What are you gonna do?
You see, I like having them in my cohort stat, but every time they keep getting disappeared.
Alright. You have Slayer on board deck.
I have a feeling the Banditos 15 probably missed it.
Actually,
Wow.
He
Yeah.
hit. What covers +2? No, that's half covers.
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah, that applied.
AC would be 22.
No, that's a
basic covers +2.
+2 is Baker's cover.
I thought it was like
Three-
half
three
cover.
quarters,
Oh,
three
three quarters
quarters.
cover. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
That's super cover.
that's super cover. That's S cover. But it applied. He rolled a 19, which is just your AC, so it hits.
Yeah.
And you take
Ready to fail my concentration check.
4 damage, and
my
you
God.
do fail your concentration
Roll,
check.
please.
You do get inspiration from that
Sweet.
as your hypnotic pattern disappears.
Legitimately, that dude immediate needs a promotion. This guy, you throw a spell out, all of his friends pass out around him.
He randomly shoots in the dark from 120 feet away while you're hiding under a bench, and still hits you and takes out the spell.
What a hero.
That is insane.
Can I join their team?
Well, it is your turn. Let me quickly put your vehicle on
Tell
this
you what,
so I
this
can.
ring of evasion that I have has never come in handy.
What's his boat, Darren?
I don't remember the exact stats.
Is
It was something big.
it warship?
So
It wasn't warship. No.
my actions to maintain control of the spell.
Stallion?
How far away were we still? Like still
Okay,
the
so
same?
you moved about 70 feet around, the ship does, so you went from 200 feet, 130, went from 130 down to 60 feet.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect. I think.
The ship closes in within 60 feet, there's still a bit of distance.
We'll just go
When you're closer.
longboat for us.
You had sloop schooners, brigands, square rigs, Dutch flutes, galleons, and I assume man of wars.
There are so many different ships in this game.
Alright,
Nice.
we'll go with the longship.
I'm just going off the pirate age, so.
Alright, well, my action's to maintain the spell, because I got to. And
Must be
as
nice.
it feels really great actually to have my target to do things. Instead, I'm going to bonus action as well. Since we're 60 feet away, I don't even need to distance spell it. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon and just basically on the square above Friend Beard Benditos.
Okay.
And it's this time, probably for the first time in a while, it's not even a specific form of a weapon, just because she doesn't really feel like it's the right act for that. It's not flavored, not anything. It's just kind of like unformed, like sword almost.
It looks like Christine holding a dagger.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Too many spells.
Don't make it a guillotine?
This is a shell ship. Okay, 1 second.
Am I targeting the right person? I am. I am? Yes, I am. Oh god. Nat 20.
Natural 20.
Must be nice.
It hits.
I'm so sorry,
Roll on the
Jeremy.
crit table.
Yeah.
It's alright, it is what it is.
I know, it's hilarious. But I've been having the shittest, like, few. Like,
Okay.
nice.
You hit him in the head.
Yeah, that's nice. I've been having the shittest few weeks of, like, D&D luck, so this is honestly a good redemption. That's okay.
You deal 15 damage, and as even though the effect wasn't decapitate, you decapitate.
Nice. Yeah.
As you do,
Fine.
let me read something real quick.
All spells end. Fuck you.
Roll on
1
your
second.
I'd love to. That's a. Alright.
You killed a man.
I did.
But is it your turn? Action, bonus action?
That's all my thing, yeah.
Alright, might as well end. Pirate deck wizard.
Okay. Yeah, Pirate Wizard. We'll turn to the group. Do a smart thing. He'll touch himself. That's his turn.
Right in
let's see.
public?
Spell, no.
Jeez.
Counter spell the mage armor. Get away. No, I won't do that.
You don't mage armor in public.
Bandito is 12. We'll also now that it's close by, we'll not
Touch
roll a
himself?
disadvantage. But he will roll randomly, so you roll hiding. 5 is Christine. Fire at Christine.
Alright, I don't have the cover on me. I should put it on me or no?
If not, I'll just make a note to add +2.
Is that,
Do you need prep shield?
no.
Prep shield.
You think I'm insane to bring shield with a HP?
What's your base AC?
It'd be 13
50.
plus 2, 15.
Yeah, that hits.
You have
Yeah,
a
it's
HP
not
tank?
high. I mean, we have 54 hit points compared to 13 AC. Yeah.
Including the bonus one from I gave you.
Oh yeah,
That's
that'd be
applied.
16.
And he hits. He takes
Really now?
think
Okay, that's what I
your
thought.
concentration succeed
What? Plus
For the-
12?
for
That's
the-
disgusting.
Holy heck.
For the Judas.
because of Judas.
Xavier.
Xavier.
Oh,
You take some
I would-
damage. Is it
I think the
armor
one- hold on.
concentration?
No, it's not, but it's only from melee attacks that the thing happens.
Okay.
I was like thinking, oh, maybe the thing would have helped you for your set. Oh no, it wouldn't have.
No, I rolled that one.
Yeah. If I rolled on that one and had his bonuses, it still would have actually succeeded for me.
Did that share the damage like it should have?
I took 4.
Well, he
I
auto rolled a
took
saving
0.
throw.
No, Dimitri just rolled it. No, I think, right?
I took 0 damage from that crossbow. So you took 4, I take 4.
Yes, should take 4.
Yep.
I still saved.
Okay, all good. That's his turn. Tara, you're up. Aqua is on deck.
We could have waited for that.
I'm
Fuck
gonna
it.
do the wildfire drone thing and cast Scorching Ray.
Go ahead.
Oh, neat. Where'd that come from?
That's crazy.
You see as a lizard folk brings out their hands and pursues and hits.
Yeah, one hit.
One hit. Second
definitely
hit.
Man's still standing.
Still up.
Last picture.
That hits.
I think he's dead.
Take 6
Still
damage.
standing.
Still standing.
You watch this man. The captain like runs out, looks, and pushes his man away. This dude gets up with the effect of the spell wearing off and gets blasted with 3 bolts of spiritual energy, flaming energy. He ain't looking okay.
As the enemy boat starts to turn and pivot, as the helmsman starts to turn it towards your boat, as you're now facing one another, as it's Aqua's turn.
Still no within a distance to get on, I assume, though.
It's about about a 60-foot gap between the two ships.
One more turn, maybe then. You know what? Aqua's not going to take cover, but he will rage,
Good.
as he will stand in a bit more of an open spot to try and draw some fire.
All right.
We say, did you want to hold your action to try to leap across when you get close enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually,
Have fun.
no, we will do that.
I'm just saying, there's rigging and there are ropes.
This is
You
what
don't
Aqua
have to be
does,
right next
yep.
to them.
Yeah, he will, once he gets a chance, try and get aboard.
Okay. That's his turn. Strangely feeble. Who's on deck? On deck is Slayer. Strangely feeble will. Yeah, he'll get up and he'll fire at the big man, who he can see now. Big man, who's the big plan? That's a miss. Big man can't do nothing. 22. Will be this one. Who will also fire at big man. He's doing the thing. Doing the thing that you planned for. That's a miss. The sailing ship, your boat, moves its 35 feet towards the other boat. And you're now 25 feet away. What's your standard long jump?
Distance calculator. Sec.
I think it's not 25 feet.
I don't
Like a
think
third
it
of
is.
your strength. Score.
5, 11, and mine's a 14, I think, right? 14. Without a running start or with?
I'd say with a running start.
With the running start.
With a running start, 14.
Okay. I'd say with the rope though, like if you wanted to swing on a rope that they have there, like you could double that.
If
Hell yeah.
you're fine with that being allowed, then absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys are ready for boarding. Like there are things set up to help like board. It's not just like dudes waiting to try and physically jump between the two ships.
Aqua has jumped longer distances before.
Oh, you have.
Okay.
Alright.
Is
Is
it
there-
a roll or just
Yeah, just make an athletics check.
sure?
See how graceful you are. Yeah, with your rage, you. Where do you want to land?
Shimal's aiming for the rigging or something to get up.
Okay, you.
In the center.
Yeah, you can pick a place.
Oh.
With a roll like that, you can swing to a relatively location you're after.
No, that's nice. Then, can I be a bit further up?
Mhm.
Right. Hell.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds
You,
good.
buddy.
Hi.
As it is
That's
now.
your held action.
Yeah, Bandito's 23. Well. Waddle. Waddle. That. Chop. That's a miss. On Osira, on Aqua, Bandito's 9. Let me just move him up. It was just being a bit weird. Yeah, he will miss as well. Bosun, 23. He will hit you actually with his hook as you take. As you take some damage and you are grappled.
That's okay.
This man comes out the door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do nothing from this point. So he will do action dash to. I'll put his way over here behind you. Or off the boat, probably. Yeah, cool. I'm targeting everything but him. I even have
So
a.
many things.
I have a particular mod for this, and I didn't want to apply it just now. Yeah. Alright, okay, he's there. Bandito's 24. Well, yeah, roll the save, go ahead. I have to actually look at another sheet real quick.
They actually
Be a
absorb
shape
me
changer.
away.
No.
They actually immune to radiant damage. It's very bizarre.
That succeeds.
Alright, he takes half damage.
Okay. Takes 7 as he whirls it around. Let me roll a d6. And picks out Xavier as the ballista bolt fires. Oh no, that was Darian rolled that one. That is
21.
21. That does hit.
Just, yeah.
So you take 18 damage.
So this dude on the ballista, you see he's like wheeling it. He got it loaded before. He turns with this blast of air. He fires this giant, basically bolt across, which slams into you, Xavier. Not punching a hole straight through you, but putting a decent sized chunk through your armor. And then he looks around and realizes he doesn't have a second bolt. Because this is meant to be a 2-person operated machine.
Ah, fuck, I need a friend.
Burst in 29 will do nothing.
Is 29 the one with...
Yeah,
He's got
but the guy died, so...
Oh, he did, yes, sir. I just
Also,
picked random
did you?
number.
Oh no, you succeeded. That's right.
Yeah.
Slayer.
Fair enough.
How far is the boat from the other boat?
25 feet.
Could Slayer jump that?
What's Slayer's strength score?
16?
If a barbarian with 14 can do it, then she can definitely.
And how tall is Slayer?
Slayer's a large creature, you see. And there's
So at least 8 feet?
Yeah.
I believe the target can actually act normally if its turn, but has no creature if none are within its reach.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh, alright then.
There you go. I had to reread that because I knew there was something about that I didn't know.
We'll throw its hammer at Arthur real quick.
Yeet.
That hits. As
That's
Arthur
okay.
takes a little ding on the head.
Fine by me.
So Slayer's jumping.
Yeah, Slayer jumping on board.
Slayer's on board. Not
Is that
centered in
it?
the square, but
Is that its entire action to jump on board, or...?
movement.
That's its action.
It's action to jump?
Well, it's further than its movement range, isn't it?
Normally it can move like 50 feet.
Its movement speed is 50 feet.
Okay, well then yeah, it's just movement then.
You see, there's this thing called a pirate deck wizard apparently on board.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen if, say, Slayer were to push it off?
I don't know, try.
Try.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a bite attack.
Go ahead.
Casts Gate as a reaction. It's like, what?
Cast Gauche as a reaction. That's a miss.
Can I use my inspiration?
For Slayer?
Yeah.
It is his thing.
Alright, fair enough.
But you get no extra one.
No, you don't.
I don't get an extra one for that, no.
I think you do.
It hits.
Okay.
Does 30 damage.
Oh, hang on.
He fails.
Can instead of knocking them prone, can I push him off the ship?
Yeah,
If you
if you want to.
Yep. Bye. Get in the water.
As he falls into the water, one of the guys next to you's like, "Tell your beast to kill him, that was the plan!"
Nice.
yeah,
Alright.
dude's in the water now.
He's in the water now.
He is in the water.
Alright, Sylvie.
Alright.
Xavier's on deck.
So I used my Arms of Astral Self before, so I could roll my athletics with a Wisdom modifier.
Yep.
Cool. With a +3, I think that should be alright to be able to jump over. Would you guys agree?
With your movement and your leap, I'd say, because given they give an extra 10 feet of reach, you can make a athletics check to make it an easy jump.
Easy peasy. I will do that then. And I was sort of wondering as well, like, is this exactly where I am? Like, do I have to be in this spot, or can I jump? Like,
No, you guys are basically coming up on an angle from behind. You guys are coming up almost from, like, perpendicular, but then the ship turned, so you're almost pulling up side by side to them. So you guys would probably be more further down, like here-ish.
Well, oh, we're down here. Okay, because I was sort of thinking I want to get in near where First Mate is, but I don't really want to jump into where the boom beam is. But if we're all the way down here, then
It's just so you were there just so you could be on the map and see.
yeah, that's fair. All right, I'll roll my athletics.
Just roll in that 20 and be wherever you want.
Just rolling that one and be where you don't want.
Be in the water.
In the water. I mean, I rolled a nat 1 before, but you know. And then I rolled a 2 directly after. That's okay.
Yeah, with the 12, you're able to clear the distance, and you can get across onto the ship, but you land very close to the actual the edges.
That's okay.
So you'd be like down here.
Yeah, I can work with that. If I'm down here, I will immediately go for Bosun 29, but I think, let me see. I don't know if they're on squares exactly. I don't know what the captain, which square he's on.
It doesn't matter.
Did the damage
Okay.
apply to Pirate Deck Wizard?
Yeah.
I'll go here so I'm like, got a little bit of space if other people need to jump over, but then I'm within range of both of these guys. But I'll go for Bosun 29 with a stab.
Okay.
Why have I got advantage?
Because they're in
This is very
fire.
fire.
Oh, right. That's awesome. Cool.
Sneak attack.
No one. Do I have sneak attack on that?
You have
Because
advantage on the roll.
advantage, of
Advantage.
course. God, I keep forgetting that. Very nice. That's not a very good roll.
That is 11 damage. She's still up.
That's all good, and I'll do my Whales from the Grave ability on. Let me see.
Oh, it should have made a save at the end of this.
Yeah, I was just doing it.
Yeah.
What's your DC? 16?
Second.
Okay, still on it.
I was just checking to see if it needs to take one when hurt, which it doesn't. Neat.
I'm gonna do the Whales on. I'll do it on the captain.
Mhm.
Oh my god, the ones.
It's damage.
It is damage. It is indeed damage. And I will follow up with a spectral arm strike on Bosun 29 as well.
Fair enough.
Actually, no. Seeing, like, noticing that this guy's kind of, like, got this, like, weird chain crown thing and it's, like, probably, like, flickered at some point, she'll turn to the captain and just hit him directly.
It's almost like akin to it being puppeted by the chains.
Yeah, she'll sort of pick up on that, but I'm assuming that's a miss.
That is a spell, I know.
So that is my turn. I will stay 1 foot.
I think it would be cooler if it was called Marionette.
Look,
I
man,
tried
not
to
good with
end
words.
10, but it wouldn't let me.
You get basic bitch from me.
There we go. It worked now.
Okay. So
Osiris, you're on deck.
Uh-huh.
as
He is on
my,
deck.
as my action, I'm
Mhm.
gonna move the moonbeam.
Okay.
I can move it 60 feet. I think it's stuck on Bandito's number 24.
You did lock it onto him.
I didn't mean to.
There you go.
I cannot grab that.
Where are you putting it?
I'm gonna make it go across all these nice little Banditoses.
And
And
it hurts so
land
it
it on the
stays on.
captain.
That one? Oh, why didn't you go with him? Hello.
Oh,
Whee!
You're like, no, I am the one.
He is the
The ship's
chosen.
about to be on fire, yo.
Oh, it's only radiant damage. That'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you're basically moving it to hit the captain at number 3, essentially.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, you'll see as this beam column of light moves along the ship, passing over the side, over the top of a lot of these people who luckily doesn't stand on them long enough to actually hurt them. But you see that traces of the rigging and edges of the sails are licked with this white flame as it passes over them.
Thumbs up.
Yep.
Who'd have thunk that?
That's the action.
Mhm.
Uh, as bonus action, I'm gonna go and tell Christine that they're doing a good job and that they should aim for that wizard that the guy got yeeted off. Have a fake gift.
Okay, I was gonna say, what mechanically are you doing? Because this sounds very uninspiring.
Listen, there is a world where he goes into bird. It's not this world, but you
It's
can
not
have
the next D1 either.
you can have 10 walking speed,
Yeah, you can't run or jog. You can only walk.
and I will get that as well.
It's a good thing my walking speed becomes swimming speed.
That's alright.
I
Yeah,
Just in
with
case you
my-
fall.
What was that?
Do you also have a climb speed?
No, but I do indeed have
Hell.
a good constitution to save on my concentration checks.
Yeah, must be
With
nice.
my speed of 40, may I board this ship?
Yes, with a 40
Sure.
speed, you can leap across.
Does the fake gift a bonus action?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Bonus actions. I can always use the help action as a bonus action. It's just I can only give free gifts.
Or like I'm saying, like was moonbeam a bonus action to move?
No, that's an action.
Ah.
That's my turn. I moved the moonbeam and I moved onto the ship.
Can you roll me moonbeam damage?
Yeah. Sure.
2d10.
13.
What did it hit? It hit hull, rigging, and sails. So sails.
I was wondering if that would actually do damage.
I had a bad feeling.
And helm.
Oh, it does indeed have HP.
It do.
That's
also got
great.
more-
30 grams is fantastic. Like 100%. Like the moment that like vehicles have like things and you can have components with separate HP, I'm like fantastic. Thank you, God.
That is so cool that it can do it.
I think Foundry's
Roll
getting
20
just
who?
like
No,
that,
15 threshold. You are correct. There is a 15 threshold, so
Ow.
the bird itself is fine. But the rigging take damage. Alright, Bandijo 6 is firing at the guy. It fires at one of the men. He takes it, it bounces off his arm and he like grabs it and crushes the arrow. The guy looks scared. Osiris.
Hey guys, maybe I can do something besides just lose concentration, because apparently that's what I'm good at.
You're great at inspiring people. Your bonus action.
You're
that
very
you forget you have.
inspiring.
Look, you're just distracted because this is a very personal matter for you and your family.
Mm.
Just see if it's worth doing it again. Let me just
You wanna hit
check.
your allies?
Maybe.
Could be.
You could just hide on the ship the whole time and just be like, haha.
Yeah, what if I
can't
just
see
do
me.
this though?
It's an option.
That is an option.
Nah, but I think I'll do.
Will that hit everyone else as well, or is it
Yeah,
only
well, it'll
Patton?
hit you.
Oh, cool.
That's why
what
you're
is
targeting
that?
off the side of the ship.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why I'm
I
gonna
see.
probably dump it here.
This time with feeling?
Nah, you know what? We're gonna save a high level spell slot, and what I'll do is I'll cast Bane at 2nd level.
Hmm.
So I'll target 4 dudes. I'm within range and can visibly see enough to differentiate between everyone. Yes.
Yeah, as your
Yep.
ship got closer, they lit up lanterns along the side, so there is there's bright light coming from your ship.
Yep.
And from dim light is reaching far enough where you can see majority of that ship. You probably couldn't see number 24 all the way
Does
in
the
the back.
holy light that's currently engulfing the ship provide
Oh,
enough
yeah.
light to see?
You could easily see the captain, number 3 and 12, who are next to him due to the
Cool
beam of
beans.
light.
Is
And I'm
that the
within 30
fire of
feet.
God?
And I'm within 30 feet.
Oh yeah, you're 25 feet away.
Cool. Alright, so I will do one on you. Let's see. You
Can't target him.
can't target who?
Like, you can, is what I said.
You and one on Xavier. Yes, that's what we want.
That's fair. I think him doing Northland's really good.
I already ticked the 2nd level for this. and
3 fail, 1 success.
cool. Click.
you.
It's my action. I will now bonus action because you know it's been my turn, so I can bonus action inspire.
Mm-hmm.
Character sheet is so fucked. I will inspire.
Bonus action.
I'll inspire Sylvie. Yes, and that'll be my turn.
Hey, it's
Alright, Captain's
Right.
turn.
Captain takes the
Maybe.
moonbeam
So-
first.
15.
He fails.
Takes for
Go
DM.
Bane.
Good timing for that.
Not separate them, man.
It was separate. It was just because of the boat. Yeah, his turn. He will then longsword Sylvie. That's a miss. And then he will hand crossbow
You're gonna miss Bane.
Xavier.
Yeah, mate, don't worry. I can get it if I really
Bless.
want.
Misses
If I
Xavier.
really want, I can get it.
Just messenger page me a ring of bane.
Banditos 3 will swing
Ring
at
of
the
Bane
giant
blesses.
dog.
I'll roll the
Giant,
moonbeam onto him.
giant dog. He fails. Yeah, actually, make sure he doesn't die immediately. Roll damage. He dies immediately.
Interesting.
This dude's like, alright, I'm gonna fight the big old dog, and just lights on fire and falls into a pile of ash.
But this guy, he, right, will fight the big dog. Because that's his job,
Okay.
is to fight big dog.
Mm-hmm.
He swings a big dog.
Where
Time
can you
to go
find
to
a
the
big dog in the
pound,
sea,
little
though?
man.
What's this big dog's AC?
It is AC.
14.
If they got a +3, they need a further 10. And they hit the dog.
And
The
he
dog
chose
wearing-
15. You're being really weird, combat tracker.
It just knows that you have lots of things to get through, so it wants you to take.
Alright, what was the AC? 15?
13.
13? Okay, big dog take damage.
Yeah, it's big dog.
Big dog on combat tracker is all the way there. Take 9 damage.
It will. He's a good boy.
Actually, it should take less than that. Because he used a sword, not his shoot bow.
Good being.
I will be kind and rewind.
They take more damage.
He takes 6 damage. He can't take more damage. He can only take less damage. Christine, you're up.
Nice. Bonus action, and technically, to memory the first time I've used this ability, I'm going to use my Channel Infernity to basically end this spell that has done literally nothing, because this poor boy just keeps getting everything on him. And I'm going to basically stun him for the round instead.
Okay.
Very nice.
I cannot actually take the effect off of him annoyingly.
I will do
But,
so.
yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, it's like basically like the chains, like over his head, more just come out of the ground, wrap around the body, and they all just break instantly around him. They snap my fingers, and he's just stunned. That's my bonus action. My action, I'm gonna dive underwater and have a wizard duel,
Okay.
Alright, you leap off the ship into the water.
and I have a swimming speed equal to my movement speed because I have the marine armor on.
Yes.
And I'm going to basically try to get as close to this person as possible.
Yeah?
You can get right next to him, honestly.
Yeah, you got
I was wondering if I could
25.
see him.
It was 25 meters away from the boat. He's next to his boat. You've got the movement.
Basically, I want to try to like, not really catch him off guard in terms of advantage, but like that sort of thing where I catch him off guard because how quick I am, grab hold to him, and I am going to do an old classic at 3rd level.
Oh, you're gonna do a Norisian special?
Oh god. 11.
That is a
I will
miss.
do. I don't want to do favorite on the gods. This because it's not favorite of the gods. But I'm gonna do favorite of the gods. No, dads.
You should have advantage on that.
Why is that?
I gave you the help action.
You've also, I think, there's granted advantage attack on the wizard as well.
I specifically
For some
targeted him,
reason.
didn't I? Oh, did I not? Did I not target him?
It says you're not targeting him. Roll it
Oh,
again.
never mind then. Yeah, I'll roll again then first. Doesn't matter with any of these bonuses because it's the same thing anyway.
But you could bardic inspiration.
Favor by the gods.
12.
Still a
Yeah, 12
miss.
still misses.
Favor by the gods.
Go
There we
ahead. Don't roll.
go.
Don't roll 2 1s.
Ooh, what if I roll 2 1s though?
You roll the
You
6.
hit.
There's four of
9
them.
hits. Alright, 19
wizard-
hits.
It's about to have a bad day.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Oh, you're upcasting.
I said
Oh,
third
she's
level.
dead.
Oh, well, he did.
That's a yeet.
This man basically breaches the surface of the water, flounders around looking where to go, the mage armor flickering on his
Pull
body
him
as he
down.
figures out what's happening. And then you appear in front of him with like a shock of lightning in the background and just touch him and you watch his body wither away in front of you as his mouth opens. Why? As he dips
I like
sinks
to
down
think
below
even
the water.
though I don't have enough strength, it's that catch a surprise to pull him underwater, and then just when he comes back, it's just
Yeah,
It's
is
the
it-
sort of thing where it's the sort of thing as well where I grab hold, I let the magic go, but I'm just trying not to at this point.
But in the process, like, inflict wounds drying him out the way it does,
Yeah.
he doesn't float, he just starts to sink.
Yeah, and I just I let go, and I just try to look up and then swim.
To think he nearly became an adventurer.
Yeah, no, I just get that.
Banditos.
My turn. To get back on the boat if I can. The boat.
He probably wasn't.
That, no, because
No.
height.
Okay, cool. I will.
Yeah. You can start
If I can
swimming
grab
to
on
try and grab a
anything-
hold of something, yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to swim for that then. But
So, the ship you guys came from, there's a rope ladder off the side of it, but this ship
Yeah.
has no rope on the sides. to
Yep.
climb
So
on.
it's 13
Awesome
for
back
dog.
Yeah, dog's 13.
Hiya, says this man. He swipes at dog. Terrell.
This thing doesn't have a stun condition on it. I should probably get that out of there.
Alrighty,
Big fireball would hold all.
I wish. That's when I cast tidal wave, just knock everyone off the boat.
Just knock the ship over.
Tide boat now.
Actually,
Knocks the boat over.
I should undo what I undid before.
Hmm?
The damage threshold is 10, not 15, so it should have taken damage. The AC is 15. Yeah, it's all good.
I would really love to throw flaming sphere on there, but I will light the boat on fire.
That is an
Die.
option.
You know what? Has anybody taken a bit of damage?
Several of them. Aqua's got a tiny bit of damage, Xavier's got a bit, Osiris has a
Person.
bit, the dog has
Heal
a bit.
this, you can heal this guy right next to me. He needs a fair chance.
I am going to cast.
Yep.
20 feet.
And the radius field.
It's a big circle.
I don't know that one.
20 feet or 10 feet?
10 feet.
Okay, then that one.
So I meant 20 feet in diameter, not radius.
Yeah, you can hit everyone. Except maybe 12 and 15. You can still hit everyone except 12.
Well, couldn't heal. And I'll damage everybody in the circle, but I will not offer a heal to Aqua.
Not even the heal to doggo?
I don't know if the dog is properly in it.
No, since it's a large creature, he's not in the circle fully. One guy succeeds.
One guy succeeds.
I think they all die. Maybe. Maybe. Let me have a look. Only one guy dies. Only the bosun.
Yeah.
Everyone else is barely hanging on.
Pretty low.
Everyone.
Should have pumped it up by one.
So, like, Akra went from being surrounded by a bunch of able-bodied men to being surrounded by one able-bodied man. Akra, it's your turn. Actually, real quick, Dimitri, can you roll me 2 Moonbeam die? One from a round before, and one for this round.
think he just went up BRB.
Alright, I will roll his damage for you.
May as well.
It's just 2d10.
I'm rolling one of them because it's fun. That's a 6.
6.
Don't let Darren
So
roll.
that first one doesn't do nothing.
I can roll the
Hey.
other one.
If you want, okay, I've been rolling some of these attack rolls to save AJ time. You don't want to know some of the attacks that are coming up.
Uh,
Oh boy.
and this one
1,
does do
3,
damage. 16 damage to the boat.
Here, Darren, you know what? Here's 2 more d10 for next time. Yay. You can have 5.
There's
You're
Bert.
just as bad as me.
There's Bert. Bert, take damage now. Okay.
Sorry, I used up all my good 10s and inflict wounds.
Alright, sorry, Arthur. You can continue now.
6, 22, 23, 9.
I'm doing the fear roar, I see.
Well, it was the original plan. I'm not going to back down from it now.
Where's this man off the
Is
boat?
15 on or not?
He should be on the boat. I don't know why he was off the boat. Oh, because I was positioning him. He's on the
Move
boat.
him for the warg.
He's within 10 feet, so
let me
that's 1, 2, 3,
just
4, 5, 6,
Give him
7.
damage.
Alright.
That's fair, he does deserve damage.
Okay.
We're good?
Yep.
Cool, cool, cool. Lion lets out a roar.
The two in front of you, everyone fails except for the one directly in front of you, the one who looks a little bit healthy, and the one southeast of you who is looking at you pretty beat up. But Randy Marsh's, I don't hear no bell.
That's how I like it.
Isn't the alarm bell going off though?
As as alarm gets coughed up.
He got hit in the head. He can't hear these. Just like ringing in
Okay,
his
so
ears.
that's that first. Then, main hand, reckless attack
Go ahead.
on, which was the one that wasn't fearing me directly in front.
Yeah.
So 23.
Yes, 23.
Yeah, he has a fist coming his way.
You hit.
That's with a bit of... Is the extra damage necessary?
What's your strike modifier?
2.
Uh,
Concussion, probably.
Plus rage, I think, is a plus 3 damage, so...
no. No, he's dead.
Oh, well, I added it anyway.
Oh, bam.
He dead? Yep.
He did.
Yeah, he's dead.
Then extra attack, I will swing around with the moon touch longsword
Mm-hmm.
at this guy. He move behind me.
Hits.
Cool, cool, and that will be with a touch of necrotic,
Fancy.
which is probably really weird coming from moon sword.
It's cool.
Hits. Do some damage. Still up.
He did 13 damage.
Did you know you can supercharge it in a moonbeam and it does an extra 1 damage?
And destroys the ship.
Damn, we have no facing that direction. I shall just... That.
Okay.
Buttons ain't working, I can't skip.
Right. Strangely Feeble was scared, but he has nowhere to
Yeah.
run.
Yeah, no, he has nowhere to run. All his only option is to swing and blindly flail at you.
With disadvantage, so let me quickly have a look at Darian's rolls and
Wouldn't it be a flat roll?
AJ, my next 2 rolls are the exact same.
well, he still hits somehow.
Yeah, I gave him a chance, I just didn't give him advantage.
Deals 1 damage.
I want him to see fear in his eyes.
This one
Your rage
has.
is sustained.
This one is ready to go, and he has flanking on you. And misses. His bell is
Fuck
still
me.
going. The sailing ship, your one starts backing away from the boat 35 feet and moving across to another direction of it. So it's actually away from Christine now.
Yeah.
Banditos 9 is scared. His next 2 rolls is a miss. First mate is a 19. That hits. See, swings his long sword once at you.
Is that the first mate, yeah.
Yeah. And then he will go for his second one, which is the nat 20. You're not heavy, so let's just see if he does something weird. He does. He hits you prone.
Nice.
With his sword, as you take 11. What's his max damage? 12. You take 12 damage, reduced to 6, so you're on 72, and you are knocked prone. He misses. He can't do anything, and he misses. This one.
Yeah, but 24 spends his turn reloading the ballista.
Yeah. This one is stunned, so he can't do nothing.
Yeah,
Slayer.
Look, there is a snake. Slayer is looking mighty hungry and wishes to regain hit points. That will result to eating Benedito's 15.
Munch munch.
Just roll to hit.
He's gonna die, trust me.
If you hit.
The dude's critical.
Probably not.
That is a hit. He's dead.
Munch. He's then gonna push his way up and try and get the lion up with his snoot.
Okay.
Yelling in goblin. As wargs tend to do.
Sylvie, you're up.
Alright, seeing this one, like, kind of weakened, like, in a stunned state, she turns to that, looks to Xavier and says, "Drop the beam already! You're destroying the ship!" And I will go for Pirate Person 29. I'm assuming when they put stunned, that's with advantage?
That's an advantage,
stunned.
yeah.
Yep.
Is
Also,
it
it's
stunned
with
until his
advantage.
next turn, which is already passed?
To start one? I'll
start
check
your
one more
turn.
time.
It says grant advantage on it. I can't remember if that was for another.
Oh, he is
Until the
very
start
fire
of my
resistant.
next turn.
Ah, fairy fire. Right.
Okay, so yeah, he is stunned, which means if you hit him, it's gonna be bad for him.
It's
It's
not.
gonna
It's
be
not a
bad.
crit.
It's still bad for him. He's
It's
a
not
lot of
bad.
health.
It's gonna be bad.
Sylvie's probably gonna kill this man.
While that one guy did the ultimate like JFK shot, this one had done nothing. This entire
Absolutely
time.
Nothing.
Poor man's.
It
It is.
He got put to sleep, woken up, like stunned.
Asked to beat up a guy, couldn't.
He felt bad that one
My
thing he was told to, he
rolls.
couldn't.
My freaking
He's
rolls
still
are
up, and even now,
1, 1, and 2.
the embrace of death has not come for him.
Alright.
He failed at everything, even dying.
Maybe he deserves an adventurous start.
Yeah, let him go.
Can I'm trying to figure out, whales from the grave, I have to target something else, or can I
Yes,
target
has to be a
Yes.
separate target.
Okay, alright, hits the captain again.
He said, "Stop it!" Gosh.
He can't
Stop
is it the captain?
existing and die already.
Take some
He can't
damage.
say anything, he's stunned.
And second attack back on 29 again,
Mhm.
because she wants to finish him off.
Stabby stab.
That hits.
Is it an instant dead, or do I need to roll?
You need to roll.
29?
Yeah.
Ah, wait, you have a. What's your damage?
1d4
Yes.
plus 5.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay.
That
You
makes
will
me
miss him.
happy.
Alright, he's out of there. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's all my movement. Let me see. I don't want to go into this moonbeam. I'm a little uncomfortably close to it right now, so I'm gonna move down.
Alright, Bandito 12 would take a swing at you, but I rolled a nat 1, so it doesn't matter.
No, I didn't even realize I was, because I wasn't
Positioning's
actually.
not perfect, but yeah.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that. But that's fine.
Listen, now they get inspiration die.
Sorry, Xavier's turn. My bad.
I move in and fight the captain.
Okay.
Seems like a man who knows his things. Target captain. There you go. I'm gonna do him wham bam thank you ma'am. Huzzah.
You hit.
Swiggity smoogity, I'm gonna do a smite tubity.
Okay.
Hiya.
19 as you lay into this bandit, Captain.
He's
Alright,
not
Captain.
looking super good, but he's still up.
Swiggity swoogity, I'm gonna do it a doobity.
Okay. It hits.
hit.
You know what? Just bump another one into him. This fuck. Bam.
He's dead.
He's so
I drop concentration on Moonbeam.
Thank you.
Hey, look, it was only to kill the captain.
And the ship.
And the half the ship.
Trust me, with those rolls to me, you didn't need it.
I then proceed to mount.
Okay.
Okay. You climb up on top of Sclera's back.
Did I get opportunity attack when he's climbing on?
The dude who could have already used it.
Yeah.
Poor buddy tried to hit me already.
That's a 14 plus 17 to hit the dog. Hits the dog.
I can't make him hit me, can I?
You're not special.
You aren't a cavalier.
Undo that. He still takes 6 plus 1, 7, but it didn't crit.
What did he get?
He didn't though. Osiris, it's your turn, bud.
Hey, bud.
Alright. I'm like almost 60 feet back, aren't I?
Yes.
25 plus 35, so yeah, 60
So,
feet.
yeah, 70. No, yeah, 60 feet.
60. You notice none of the dudes on your ship, despite a few of them having crossbows, none of them are firing them.
They're waiting for us to take care of
Kind of a
the work.
dick move.
Well, you noticed a few of them picked them up to aim them at the dude in the water, and then Christine murdered him, so they put them back down.
Yeah.
Still, if they want this to succeed that badly, they should be doing something. 60 feet. Well, 60 feet is still in range for Bandito's 22, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
I'm gonna cast a Vicious Mockery.
You're gonna sass him to death?
Do it.
He fell.
He just throws himself into the sea.
Yeah, it's just a kill yourself.
It's
Look at
enough.
that.
The dude looks at you. A single tear rolls down his cheek. And he just like he puts on a piece of chainmail and then leaps over the side of the deck.
Oh my god,
dark.
that's fucking dark.
Oh my god.
I don't like that.
I mean, it was that or he died to a cat. I don't know which is worse.
As again, when he hits the water, you see a few of the dudes near you start picking up their crossbows and aiming them again.
Alright.
That's actually how he died.
Yeah, one of them's like, what? The throwing will damage the ship.
That's fair.
They unloose bolts into the water.
Range of 60 feet. Okay, I will also
You're not kidding me.
inspire. Say Christine.
Okay.
Take a bardic inspiration.
It won't help you swimming, but it'll do something.
At this point, am I away for
Are
the
you
warding
underwater?
bomb? No, I'm like near the surface-ish.
Anything else?
Last action, that's bonus action. No.
Alrighty.
That's it.
Christine?
Hi. I'm going to. So where roughly are the ships in relation to me currently then?
There's one right next to you that has
Yep.
nothing for you to better easily climb. You can try to climb it still, there's still bits of wood. And the other one is about 60 feet away, kind of to the northwest, northeast.
60? 60 wouldn't be enough to get there and grab onto something, would it?
60 feet, you could swim all up and grab the rigging at the bottom of the ship, and then you'd need, next round, you'd have to then spend 30 feet to climb it.
As long as I can at least grab onto it, I'm happy for that.
And as I'm just gonna like use some of my movement swimming backwards, I'm going to bonus action, move the spiritual weapon just down to the next person that I probably can just at least see from moving, which would be Bandito 6.
Mm-hmm.
Banditos.
Please move spiritual weapon. Be kind to me. So far down my sheet.
Hit.
I can add the bardic inspiration to magic damage like spiritual weapon, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna roll it at second level because it's in a DA and it would be 2d8 with it.
Okay.
Whoop. And you can take off the bardic inspiration. I'll take it off myself.
It's dead.
Yep. And I'm just gonna swim back. Not enjoying any of this at the moment, but you know, you're here.
This one drops his scimitar and his light crossbow and has both his hands up.
Don't do that.
Tear up. You are 60 feet away, Tara.
I'm 60 feet away.
Yes.
How? This is on the second boat, right?
Yep.
How close can I get?
If you were to leap off the deck and swim, you don't have a swimming speed, so you could get 45 feet away.
Unless you gave yourself a swimming speed.
Unless you
could
turn into something with a
Turn
swimming
into a
speed,
fish.
Turn into a duck.
I like ducks.
You can't be a duck. Ducks have flying speed. You need a higher level.
Plus, I can just take them. You know? People just take ducks. It's not against the law.
There are free ducks.
The government doesn't want to tell you that.
The government is keeping it secret.
For the most part, things seem to be handled on the boat, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You have 60-foot dark vision, don't you?
I believe so.
Actually,
We're
I don't
all
think.
alive and they're all like.
As a
much
changeling?
larger.
No.
No, changelings don't have dark vision.
No.
We didn't write it down, but we did give me dark vision with the fire resistance and stuff.
Yeah, I think we did. I think it is 60-foot dark. You could see
Yeah.
with the weird red tinge sight that you have, yeah, you see a dude start to surrender.
Tara will hold off then and just stand for it.
Akfa.
Akfa then. This dude
Okay.
goes hands up like, we're good, man.
What happened to
Bro?
Christine? Oh, I know she's above him. Right. Wow.
Just holding onto the side of our
I'm gonna get up from prone. Not that I wasn't gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna reckless and try and take out this captain.
You mean the first mate?
Yes.
He's the captain now.
Well,
he is the
Captain now.
Yeah, the
You see, like-
new captain.
As like, there's been a lot of shouting between these guys, like, what's happening? Who are you? And here's a slaughter.
He's dead.
Hit him. Yeah.
Oh, do you just not want me to roll damage?
You don't need to.
Okay.
Good.
I
You
If
can.
you want to. I like rolling damage.
sure.
I'm just implying that they're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, this-
look, it'd be okay. I turn.
With the captain dead, the other guy's like, hey, you killed the captain. That means that you've won. You can have anything, and you punch him in the face and he dies.
He dies from a punch in the face.
Well, he has a blade on his hand.
Oh,
You also
yeah,
hear his neck snap as the fist connects.
So I'm gonna look at these two.
Mhm.
So strangely feeble and Bandito's 9, and I make it sure 24 can hear it. Drop your weapons and line up in the middle of the ship.
12 has already dropped his weapon, is like, yeah, okay.
You're gonna
Formation.
kill us?
The 24 who's loaded the ballista is like currently turning it and stops for a moment. He looks towards the dead dude at his feet and looks over the 9 and strangely feeble. Roll a intimidation check.
I will be walking towards that one as well.
Yo, is that advantage? Doesn't.
I walk up to him. The other two can take a free attack if they feel brave enough.
No.
Yeah, no.
I will place my hand on the ballista and wait to see what this guy does.
The dude's like, he has to winch it to face the direction. He's stopped, so it's currently pointing just like out to sea at the moment. And he's just looking at you as you like hold the ballista. Like, do you want a bolt? You can fire it if you want. That's the trigger.
Can I just take the bolt out?
Okay.
If you promise not to kill me.
I will promise that, but that's not my fate to decide.
Can I have the bolt back?
I shoved the bolt like just through the ballista, not through it, but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, into the ground next to it.
Yeah. He just like looks at you and is like, yeah, this dude doesn't have a weapon on him. Like you see his weapons are on the ground, like on the deck, like a few feet away, and he's just standing like backed up against the bow with the ballista between the two of them.
I'm giving him a chance to go past.
Oh, it's not his turn anyway.
Yep. That's my turn for now.
Fable is scared of you already and like super injured, so he goes to the middle. The sailing ship goes in towards the boat again, probably coming from facing the bow this time. It's 25 feet away again. 9 is scared and is in the middle of the boat, not doing nothing.
He's coming down this side now.
24 is like slowly stepping away from the ballista to get to the middle. Slare up.
Lara is looking at the people. And is
All
yelling.
three of them, you can tell like they're definitely like they're cooperating for now, but none of them seem calm.
Slara gonna do a bark in Goblin,
Okay.
and it's gonna tell them orders which they probably don't understand, but it's gonna be very scary.
They're all already scared of the Lion Man who just stabbed their ship with a ballista bolt. It's not much else you have to do.
Alright, well, that's gonna be Slara's turn. They're gonna stand down for now. They're gonna turn over to Banditos 12. Look at him expectantly.
Oh, he already dropped it. He was the first one to drop his weapon.
Well, not
Just
just
ahead of the
towards
curve.
rest of them.
Right, Sylvie.
I'm going to assess the damage on the ship.
A roll in investigation.
Cool. It's not my best thing, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's a pretty good roll, though.
It looks to be about 30% damaged. If that's within your margin of error, that's on you. And the sailors have taken some slight burning, but it's quickly faded.
Okay, as long as there's no actual, like, current fires going.
No, there's just these weird, like, silvery scorch marks along parts of the deck.
Well, we're gonna have to use a little bit of mending on this if we're even able.
Right.
She looks over to Banditos 12. You might want to go to the middle before they decide to get trigger happy.
Xavier.
I'm gonna tie myself to the lifeline. Just in case.
Okay.
Alright, you tie yourself to the to one of the lifelines by the mast.
Cyrus.
They're all surrendering, yes.
Yeah, those 4 dudes are surrendering. You can see the people on the ship with you are starting to, like, they pulled the sail back in as much as they can. They're getting ready to slow the ship down to as much of a stop as they can near that one.
And it seems like the ship's catching on fire, or it's just damaged.
This is
Just a
damaged.
bit of damage. Yeah.
It's just a flesh wound.
Well, you said the ship has hit points, right? I cast Healing Word on the ship.
It doesn't affect objects.
Cast mending word on the ship.
Aura of Vitality does not have that
Mending.
stipulation, I would like to point out. I don't
I
have
like
that
mending
spell,
word.
but
I can learn that spell.
yeah, I'll just chill on the ship until we properly board,
Okay.
dock, whatever the correct terminology.
At the start of the thing, 25 feet away, the guys on the boat, so mainly Tyrannosaurus, see that Ophiuchus has made his way to where you guys are standing. Someone else seems to have taken the helm from this point. And he looks at you, at the people on the other side, is like, "You agree to follow all my orders." do so.
Xavier, deal with them. Your call. Find slow the ship. Sylvie, have a look in the captain's quarters for any logs.
Aye, aye.
Arthur's gonna go stand at the front and not look towards the people.
Is anyone going to do it?
What? Kill the men.
Yeah, the full
Yep.
surrendering dudes. Fugius is saying, he said, follow my orders, so do it. He said,
I
kill them
look
all.
to Xavier. What's Xavier doing?
I'd do it, but I'm kind of not close enough.
Oh, you can be
keep
close
it
enough.
on here.
Yeah, you're
If
20.
I be close enough, I will just start firing off reduced flames directly into their face.
You know what? Roll me a damage roll. Just one.
Okay.
And I just want to see.
Oh, that's depressing.
Okay. You can kill most of them.
Oh wait, that's a thorn whip. My bad.
You know what?
Reduced flames is better.
38's.
Oh, it's exactly.
Same damage.
It is not.
You can kill most of them. Only one guy remains after you pop 3 of them.
Seeing that Terra seems to have this down pat, I'm going to do what Arthur says and go into the captain's quarters and see what I can find.
Yeah, so what's happened in the last one, Xavier?
Yeah.
Wait, was it actually revealed that it was Terra, or was it someone
No.
else?
No, it's just
Yeah,
a lizard
but-
folk.
The person doing this
Yeah.
is just a male dragonborn.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I thought they were a lizard.
Yeah, this is male dragonborn. Throw these fires and kill 3 of the 4 dudes. The last guy like drops to the ground, picks up a random sword that's near him, and is like holding it like between you and like swiveling it between Arkfur and the Warg and up to Xavier.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't come close. I'll stab you." Cyrus ain't doing. Cyrus and Terra, Christine.
I ended the spell spiritual weapon. I'm making my way up.
Yeah,
I
I see.
see,
Yes,
I see the dragonborn like do that. I'm like, I do not want to. I'm just gonna look on to see what happens, and then if there looks like someone is moving towards, I'm just gonna look at avoid, like stare basically.
So it's really up to you, unless Cyrus or Xavier do it.
I'll look
I've-
forward. Go.
You go.
No, you go.
What do you say? I'll turn to Captain. Do you not wish to be better than those you hunt? Because this just seems like the work of pirates at this point.
Kill them or get off my boat. And they're not particularly innocent in it on themselves. If you were in their position, you'd be dead already. That's what the cartel does.
To
I
punctuate his
know
words.
what the cartel has done. It's not about being even, it's about being better.
Being better hasn't done well for me and my men.
As he says this, there's a flash of lightning in the distance, and for a brief moment, Osiris, it illuminates the sail of the ship, and you see, flying next to the flag, next to a piece like standard just general flag, is the flag of Zircon's men.
He stands by his words. He said.
Alright, Xavier. You can go right after Terra.
I take out my sword. Hold it with 2 hands. Look down. Mutter a prayer. Knowing that will do nothing. I am judge. I am jury. But I am no executioner. sword.
Put it away. I assume.
Away.
Tear up.
If I can, I will use Thorn Whip, wrap it around the dude's neck, and like slam his head into the ground, snapping his neck if I can.
Oof.
Yeah, as you pull, as you get the thorn whip, as you like start pulling him towards it, it seems to collide with an arrow that's been fired from a fucus. As it like pulls into the arrow, tears a hole through its neck as he falls limp in the whip.
Now clean the ship.
Don't fix it. Leave it damaged. He looks to a part of his men. Damage some of the rigging. As they nod and they all jump aboard.
Guess I will help in the cleanup efforts. See if there's anything worth taking from them.
As Sylvie goes down into the captain's quarters, it just seems to be a message of correspondence about who they need to target to get some money. There seems to be some loot in down there of probably a couple hundred gold pieces that were probably used as like extortion, gotten through extortion methods.
Yeah, you see a note which is literally like a list of names, which having lived in the KC before, you can tell are names of different islands, and several of them are already stricken off.
Oof.
So you know these men have already been working their way around.
I'll take the notes because like as much as they seem fairly like standard, it's something someone might want to see. I'll take the money. If there's nothing else there at all, is there any good wine?
Not really. You see a lot of food and stuff. Like there is basic foodstuffs. There's slightly good foods. Like in the actual captain's quarters, there's a few luxuries, which would be like fresh fruit by the look of it. But it's mostly just generic stuff and basic like bad wine and rum.
Yeah.
Cheap stuff.
Are they grapes? When you say fruit, is it grapes?
Like oranges, citrusy
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. I'm gonna take an orange. I'm gonna take 2 oranges. But yeah, I'll just take the money and the notes and stuff, and I will go back out. And are we still on a
No.
track at the moment? No. I will approach Arthur. Be like,
Oh, we probably would have came down that side by now, but yeah.
just like not a whole lot in here, a bit of money. We've got about 200 gold, a few notes of what looks like this is probably extortion money. Looks like they've been making the rounds of the islands.
Nothing unexpected then.
You take the money, I'm sure you'll divvy it out fairly.
How much was it?
Was it? You said a couple hundred, so I'm assuming 200?
It was about 220 gold.
Alright, yeah.
You look at the note, by the way, Arkfur. As she holds it out, you see the name is stricken off. You see about 4 or 5 down from the current one, you see Carrick Isle.
Oh.
Not stricken off, or it has been stricken?
It's one of the ones that's coming up.
Oh!
And I know that's Cyrus's place, correct?
Yeah.
I know that too, don't I?
Yes.
I would have noticed that too, or...
Once...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows Osiris's last name would have noticed that.
Once everyone's gathered, we should bring this up with Osiris.
It seems we, made the right choice in coming along here, then.
How many of us are there?
May have
1, 2,
stopped some
3,
countless deaths.
6.
Nonetheless, there's a bit of fresh fruit in there if you feel like taking your pick. Don't know if you're a fruit person, but it's hard to find oranges these days. At least in the KC. Anything else you have for me?
Nothing else, just I get the feeling we're gonna be sailing this.
Well,
yeah.
she salutes you. Aye, aye, Captain. And she just like wanders off to, like, sort of just basically keep out of the way of what everyone's doing.
Yeah, you see some of Afikis's men have hopped across and are like, some of them are actually doing superficial damage to the rigging and sails and like sides of the ship. Others are currently stripping the some of the clothes off the more important looking dead people, like the captain, the first mate, and the bosuns. They're like pulling their coats and stuff off them.
One of them.
The rest of them is tossing the bodies overboard.
Yeah, one of them like a merfolk, or what are they called? Triton. One of the Tritons goes down and is like, it's too deep, can't get the mage's one.
Didn't want it leaving. Sorry.
As it's a bit late for it because we might end. I think we'll take our bio break real quick, just a quick one. So yeah, so that happened.
35 GP kind of makes up for the money that I spent the other day, but not really.
Alright, I'm gonna do my Duolingo real quick.
Oh, we'll be happy. I'm gonna go to the toilet. Oh, but before I leave, did you like our pirate puzzle?
There we go.
I liked it.
It was the don't break the ship puzzle.
I liked how we kept on like doing really cool things and then the concentration got ruined.
Honestly,
How luck.
I was thinking this won't be a very difficult fight. Who knows how much damage I'll do to the ship? We'll find out. And then when Osiris got that off, I'm like, well, this fight's over.
Yeah.
That was the shortest encounter ever. And then it got broken. I was like, oh, it's still going.
But still, I took no damage in that fight. I was very surprised.
How
by
much
that.
tougher were the bosuns? Because I didn't really get much chance to act.
Not much. They had an extra +1 to hit, and I think 10 more health.
I say they got hit by someone and they like freaking were down to moderate. So
Yeah, these dudes were not tough.
Imagine not.
Look, I
the
tried.
captain went down like a sack of shit too.
You did good.
It was
had
just really unlucky.
This will be real easy, and then when he's like, I'm gonna roll to see who it hits. I'm like, it's probably gonna fucking hit me, isn't it? And then it hit me, and then I'm like, I swear to God, if I fail this concentration check and won. Okay.
I got the info from AJ Part with you. There was a 30% chance that they wouldn't be targeting you guys. And we were rolling who their attack rolls and who they were targeting. Every time they targeted someone who wasn't you guys, they rolled below a 10. Sometimes they roll bad for you guys as well. But it was literally like, all right, roll to hit this person, a 22 total. Roll to hit a random crewman, 7. One of the players, 16. Crewman, 3. It's like, it's just horrible.
Yeah,
They didn't hit me.
I only got hit once, and that just went through temporary armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still
Oh,
technically
man.
have the remainder of my armor of Agathis.
It lasts a while, doesn't it?
Lasts for
An
an
hour.
hour, so it's gonna be ending soonish.
That was
Yeah.
what you casted. I remember you cast something.
Yeah. Casted an
Good
armor of
spell.
Agathis,
Nice.
just at second level for 10 temporary hit points. Then I
That's pretty cool.
casted spiritual weapon. Then I casted Crown of Madness, then spiritual weapon, and then a third level inflict wounds.
I casted stab, and shadow stab, and then I cast shadow stab, and then I cast another stab, and rinse and repeat.
After sorcery point shenanigans, I have brought back one of my second level spells.
I cast I cast what's it called?
Invoke destruction.
I cast the warding bond, and then I cast the moonbeam, and then I cast Divinity Smithy.
Actually, even without the boarding
And
bot, I
then
still wouldn't have taken hit point damage.
Yeah.
That was a dark turn in the end. It's just like they line up,
Yeah,
they're
well,
freaking surrender, and it's just like,
Yeah,
kill them all.
Yeah, he
kinda
said
saw
kill
that
them all.
coming.
He did say to you guys beforehand, it was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Is
see,
that-
I'm
like, we're not
starting to get
using any of
strong
them.
pirate vibes now.
Yeah.
I think Osiris is just like, should have just gone home.
This is
Until
on
he
a boat
sees this
to
note.
home.
until he sees the list that we found.
wait, this boat was going home.
Yes.
Freaking. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say
Christine's
something.
just numb to it at this point.
Yeah, you're just used to all the death and destruction.
It's more so it's like the spiritual weapon has the benefit of being detached from her specifically in a way,
Hmm.
where it's not from her hands, and there's exactly a reason why she didn't want it to be a certain image, but with like
That's
inflict
fair.
wounds like that, that's just become a sort of numbness. Like just doing it and just looking and then just kind of just looking away and then going away.
If Arkva hadn't have told me to go into that room and like investigate, because her loyalties lie with the party over Ophiuchus. She's going to listen to what Arkva tells her to do over Ophiuchus. So she's like, all right, let's go in here. Especially since Terra was like taking the guys out. If no one had like gone for them, she would have come back and just like started going through them. But someone else could do it. Someone else could get their hands bloody this time. Well, singed.
Shaky.
Shaky moral compass. Maybe you. Sylvie has no moral compass. Her moral compass was thrown
Shaky
into
like
the
a
sea a
leaf
long
in a
time
12
ago.
knot
Your moral
gale.
compass is a roulette wheel.
I don't have a moral compass. I have like, who needs a moral compass? It just makes you feel bad.
Instead of a compass, it's one of those, you know, those baby toys that you pull the lever and it randomly spins on an animal and makes an animal noise. It's that.
That's about right. I want to play a D&D game where rather than rolling dice, you'd use that.
So I just
then-
want to say, you and AJ are monsters.
What's it about?
What a lazy Susan.
No, it's one of those you pull the lever and it goes like, the cow says, moo.
Oh god.
The chicken
Cal
says,
says, natural 20.
yeah,
My
you have to-
maternal brain is like rotting inside from just no plastic toy that talks, please.
Well,
For the love of God, no.
You do an action, you pull the thing, then you have to interpret what the answer is based on what you're after. So like, oh, you want to
Or
climb
be
this
able
wall
to
and you roll cow?
bullshit it enough.
It's like, oh, you want to climb this wall and you got cow? Well, cows can't climb, so clearly that's a fail. You got chicken? Chickens can fly a bit. That's a pretty good one.
What if you
did it.
just produce so much milk, because it says cow, not bull, it just projects you upwards.
But you can never
That's horrible.
make you can never make terrible plastic baby toys fun. They are never
Yeah.
fun. They are all bad. The only good thing about them is that they're nearly always made like crap and the battery dies like within a day. Especially if you've got a child like ours that thinks that plastic toys are really fun to stand on. It's like, oh, what's this?
Sorry about
Toy
that. I
phone? Let's
needed
just
to
stand on it.
Did
eat.
everyone fix up their GP or we
Oh,
do that later?
35 to each.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just added mine.
Who's got all
The
the?
reason I did it like that is because it's fucking impossible to divide 220 by 6 without
Who's-
having to cut a coin in literal half.
Who's got
Well,
the?
You don't have to divide by 6 though.
Cut the coin in half and then
Old
just
money.
give it
I
to
do.
Christine.
Terra's
Okay,
not
well.
here technically.
No, I'm allowing Tara to have some out of this.
Who has the old
Sure,
money?
she'll,
It was what?
Is the old money? Who's got that?
Oh, I took it.
You've got
No, yeah, the old.
Oh, the
yeah.
old
The-
as in from the last time?
the ancient
I know,
monies that you
I-
don't remember having and don't know how you got.
Probably in the back of
Xavier
the
had it
I
because he was
did
talking about it
that.
being heavy.
Yeah, I
think he says
it's the bag of holding.
I say 18,000 silver pieces in the party inventory.
I got
Jesus
14.
Christ.
I got 14,000 silver for some reason.
We haven't had
I-
a chance to divide it. Yeah,
And
convert
where
it.
it went.
No, that's not the ancient money. I think you robbed a place with like stupid amounts of silver coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe a lot of that silver actually came from. If it's not on.
Oh, it came from it was the other guy's boat.
I was gonna say if it's not
Yeah.
on Salinas, then it came from the ship before where we met Sylvie.
Yeah.
I got 14,998 silver pieces.
How are you carrying 15,000 silver pieces effectively?
I have no idea. My carry weight is over.
Very carefully.
Yeah, since we did take the break, was there anything of interest on any of the bodies?
Aside from their clothes, like the captain had a very good looking jacket, which does have some holes in it and a bit of blood stain on the inside.
And how big was the captain?
Well, you're all actually honestly pretty short. Like, he wasn't as wide as you are, Akva, but he was taller than you.
I might take this and do something with it later. He's gonna
Yeah.
need to spend time if we have slight downtime between each boat.
Take the captain hat and wear it.
No, Captain King. Well, you know, I'll take the hat too.
There is a clicker.
Excellent.
Remember to do the clicker.
I
Yeah.
did the clicker. I clicked the clicker.
I got an eye patch. I think I'm piratey enough already.
Yeah, so I'll take the captain's hat and jacket, even if they don't fit.
Yep.
You've been promoted to captain.
Nah.
I am now boss.
My excuse is,
More
if we need to sail this, we need at least someone to look like they fit in.
Then not the lion.
You don't know, a lion can be a captain.
Yeah, that's just
you
racist.
You can be the captain.
Coming from
I
a person who
nominate-
has to deal with lots of racism, that's kind of racist.
I
Yeah.
nominate Terra, because Terra can be any captain she wants to be.
I see
No.
no terror.
Who's
We don't
Tara?
know
Where is
Terra's
Tara?
here.
Wormst.
Where's-
Wormst is Terra.
Have you seen Terra, Xavier?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen it.
Wormst.
Uh-huh. When did you
Oh,
last
you
see
know.
her?
They're around. Terra, you've been promoted to captain.
Sylvia, I think he's gone mad.
Who
We should throw him into the sea.
are we missing the check from? Everyone done it?
I
You're
s-
captain now. You
Maybe
own
it's
the
not
ship.
us, probably.
Is Jeremy here?
You can name the ship Rodney.
I figured it out. Is Jeremy? Oh,
I had a
Well, he
sound
did,
from before.
did speak, so...
Speak again, Jeremy. if
The
you're not
real
dead.
Jeremy was the
Yeah.
friends we made along.
It's me.
okay.
I'm in the kitchen.
Ah, okay. How
No,
dare.
it's all good.
I'm making dinner.
No, I get that. I had to eat as well. That's why I needed the break. I'm like, I need sustenance to continue.
I have chocolate. That's all I need to
I
sustain
had a
myself.
chocolate cookie. I'm done.
I had a whole block of chocolate. It's gone.
Pretty good. It was cream egg chocolate.
And I had some violet crumble. That's also gone.
Well, in your defense, Terra, we don't know you're here. You can stay with the captain if you wish.
I had sausage.
Once again, no, she can't.
El Hopanes.
Okay, the captain might know who Terra is, we don't. Oh.
Yeah, how'd you guys like slaughtering a bunch of people who are definitely weaker than you?
It was
Easy.
his touch.
Not a first time, and I also just realized, was there a lower part to this ship?
Yeah, there's no the back part where like the back part acts as like the captain's office and the holding, so like that's where the loot was.
So like the lower part is like on the previous ship you guys were on, where the below deck, where there was some stuff set up to sleep, is also like the bilge.
I just want to make
It's
sure
not like
there's
a
no
cargo
prisoners,
deck.
that's all. Because if there were prisoners, I would have hid that fact. As best I could.
All right, as we jump back in then. Eventually, you all clean up as much as you can. Blood stuff. If it's some like chipping of like wood, you're just told to leave it. As like you see, one of them is going around with a hatchet, like just lightly sticking it in certain points. Eventually, after about like an hour, as dawn starts to come, he motions for the party, or your party that's on the other boat, and a couple of his men to cross over.
And we do so?
And he offers for everyone to sit around.
Oh, your chairs?
There's rowing stations.
That counts.
As you all take spot, he sort of leans up against the mast and goes, "If you want to help your friend and sail with me, I need you to listen and be committed. We can't be kind here. This is war. I now have 2 ships. They have 12. Before this, I've had 3, and I had 5 times the amount of men I had before. They take. They barely let people live. especially these ones. He points up to a flag with what Osiris notices, but you all see it seems to be a pair of bladed tonfas that are on fire, crossed over on a black flag. Zircon's men are enforcers. They go around killing people and hurting them for money. You found this, as he takes the note, or if it was ever handed to him.
He gestures to it at
He
least.
just
you
is
know,
yeah. I have a good
think I can
feeling.
tell Sylvie to give it, so.
I have a
I
good.
gave it to Arthur.
Oh. Yeah, no, he would have hit it for now.
You-
So unless the captain
Yeah.
specifically seen me hide it, I don't know.
It's just they probably had a list of a bunch of people that they had to go around and hurt to get any amount of money. If I had to figure a guess, your friends were on that list as well. Looks over at Osiris. So the next time I order you to kill everyone, I don't need moralists. I need people to die. And if you can't accept that, then take this boat by yourself and go home. But, if you're willing to listen, we can talk about part 2 of my plan.
Sooner this is over, the better.
Looks around at the party just for affirmation.
Sylvie's completely neutral. Like, it's just like, this is just information that he's dumping. She doesn't look like she disagrees with anything. She's just kind of like, eh.
Everywhere I go, I keep getting dragged into one.
Sort of focuses on Sylvie's this isn't a stay silent because he's making good points moment. This is I will follow your orders, Captain, yes sir moment.
I have no qualms with killing people if that's what you're wanting to do.
Looks at everyone else. Notably not whoever Terror is portraying at the moment.
Yeah.
But the two of you who... Well, we weren't on the boat, so I guess you didn't have the option to not kill someone, but the people that were there who made the decision to not kill.
Yeah, because I definitely did something from the outside. It's
Yeah.
also, I think, for Christy at the moment, she's just kind of a bit... Again, just that sort of numbness as she's looking. Like, it's going in, she's paying attention, she's listening. But it's just that sort of, not really knowing how to feel about this. But it's not like that's entirely stopped her. She hates it internally, but it has yet to kind of resist.
Well then. Part 2. I just hope you're all good at acting. We're taking this back to Firestock Isle. You're going to pretend a group of an rival group of pirates, or the Navy, or anyone under the government here has hurt your ship. You're going to seek refuge, and they'll allow you as you fly under his banner. Firestock Island is basically a pirate haven that has mechanisms to stop others from getting in. Mainly, it's hidden. It's very difficult to find its way to get into this cove. And secondly, there is a large shredding net that destroys sails if it's not taken down by people on the inside. If your acting skills are good enough, you'll get through that gate, and you'll be able to take out those 2 towers that hold this net across the bay. And then my ship can come in and help you with reconnaissance. As far as we know, Zircon is still there. So, take out his men, drive him into a continuing assault into his inner sanctum, and kill him. Part 3 of the plan, you can leave or go, but ultimately we want this to get Ebonhorn to strike. If that's something that you want to participate in, you can discuss that afterwards. But with the removal of Zircon, any threat to your friend in that temple should be gone.
Yes.
Alright. Is there a map or schematics of this base?
No.
Alright.
My men will be here to pilot the ship for you and run it. You just have to make a pretense. Pretend to be some of the men. Bosuns, the captain. The mage's gear is gone, but mages look alike anyway, so as long as you pretend. Figure out who's gonna lead this distraction. Because you've only got, looks up at the sun, 4 or 5 hours before we begin. Any questions?
None.
None.
No, Captain.
Alright then. He turns to his crew, where Terror is hiding. Help him get going, pretend to play along, and don't overact. And they all sign off as he swings on the rope to the other boat. And yeah, you see you've got the Nightman helmsman on your boat to drive yours, as a bunch of other men start getting the rigging that looks is all superficially damaged that Darian said, to start moving, as you have a couple hours before your assault.
Well, Arthur's just gonna go in the cabin.
Take the captain's cabin.
Yeah, you go into the cabin. As the ship starts to move, because they don't wait very long, the ship starts to move right away. There's a bit of travel distance to cover. The different dudes who jumped across take care of all the work, and you all left just standing around. So there is time to do anything in this few hours to kill.
I think seeing Arthur go into the cabin, and everyone's over on this ship now, she'll sort of approach the group and just be like, Arthur mentioned maybe wanting to have a word if anyone feels like getting that done before we throw ourselves in. We may have found something.
Something related to this, to what we're doing now, or what?
Well, not so much to what we're doing now, but more to what this boat might have been doing. I feel like we might want to be on top of that. Regardless, he did mention maybe wanting to bring it up. Entirely up to you guys.
If you're talking about how he was mentioning who he was going through, I don't know if that information's useful for me. I know nothing about the island.
It might be of interest to you, Osiris, but I believe you probably already know.
Can't believe we lost him.
Osiris?
He drowned.
Jeremy?
Is he still in the kitchen?
Sorry, I'm
Jeremy?
still in the
He is,
kitchen. It
yeah.
cuts in
Oh.
and out in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I gotta actually cook dinner.
Did you hear what I said, or
I didn't hear what you said, but I understand intentions.
intention? She more or less said like it might be of information to you, Osiris, but I guess you already know.
Already know.
And then mention
Have
a
a
note.
fair idea of what the information might be.
Oh, yes. glad it was avoided all the same.
Anyway,
Yes.
we have little time.
You gonna say something, Jeremy?
When it all inevitably turns to shit, as a lot of good plans do, be mindful of the one with the bladed tonfa.
Should I roll a history to see if I know?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can, because you would know about the cartel and their stuff.
Oh god, same.
Oof, that was nearly a 1.
You don't know a lot about him. Like, you can tell, obviously, he's an important man because of the two big old, like, the two bladed tonfa that are on the flag.
Hmm.
And the name Zircon's happened multiple times. So you can connect the dots and know they're talking about Zircon Adamonte, who is he's one of the higher ups in the cartel. But you don't know a whole lot about him.
The big man, I'm assuming.
Just be very careful.
Will do.
When after you finish talking for a bit, after Cyrus has mentioned the plan could go to shit, one of the crew who's like near you guys pulling some rope is like, "Yep, it's probably gonna go to shit a lot faster than we hope."
That can't be any
You
worse
seem
than
to
the
not
jungle,
have that
right?
much faith in your captain.
Oh, Fuchs is great. He can fight up a storm, but and like looks down, like he leans over the side of the ship with the rope and goes, "You see that over there?" Like points to like a marking section near the front of the ship. Like that is a name. This ship is a named vessel. If we get in too close, and unfortunately one of the men of that compound happens to know this ship, then the fact that no one he recognizes, not the captain, not no one, is on it, that's a red flag.
Hmm.
This ship will get us through the front door, but it might not get us much further.
I have a question, DMs.
Mm-hmm.
This particular name, is it painted on, or is it like carved into the wood?
So it's a combination of, there is a name that is like painted onto the side of the ship, but then also the entire figurehead at the front of the ship is a similar symbol.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was thinking if it was just carved into the wood, mending would fix the carve. But it's a bigger illusion I'm not prepared for. Is this happening today, or is this happening like tomorrow?
In about, it looks at the sun, 3 hours, 4 hours ish.
No.
Yeah.
The ship's expected nearby today. If we waited longer, then it just makes it harder to convince them to let us in. He said, hopefully they won't even question it, and they'll drop the chains so we can get through the front door. But as soon as we dock, I don't know how much after they come to greet us that we'll be able to be peaceful about the situation.
So why not just prepare for a siege straight up?
Because the way in is very narrow, and that chain stops everything. Also, they have a few weapons there that are good to deal with ships that are trapped.
We need
Guess
to
we
get
hope for the
through that
best.
door.
As long as we're through the door, he looks at all the bloodstains on the ground. You guys are pretty good at dealing with people. As long as you can take out the chain, then we got a Fucius come in, and he'll actually show you what his ship can do. If you can't deal with the chain, then hopefully we can cut a nice path in to clear ourselves some space to think. Or we all die.
Don't
When
do
you're
that
signing up
option.
for.
That option sucks.
Not a fan.
I think it's
But
alright. Give it some
it's
time.
always a possibility.
On death. Seems rather boring.
Still worth giving every option some thought.
We're not. No, he looks at all the dead people again. We're not as. I'm not that good with a blade. Like,
Neither.
yeah, I'm okay. I can hold my own. I don't think I can hold my own against you. And he like looks at Xavier and Arkford. So I'm gonna hedge my bets.
How long is warding board?
An hour.
Okay.
Expires, yeah.
I don't know, Christine. You say you're not very good with the blade, but that shiny magical blade that you put down before seemed to be quite effective.
Oh, we had a short rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of
on a rest, sir?
a conductor?
Yes.
It's like that.
Interesting.
It's not really. Well, I give it directions. If you put it in my hand and told me to fight with it, it's completely different.
It stabs. Doesn't really matter how you conduct it.
I'm saying it wouldn't be as effective. In my own hands, that is.
There's another rumble in the distance of thunder. And a guy who's talking to you looks up and goes, well, storm's coming, so hopefully we can get into the bay before that hits.
Ominous.
Wouldn't it be better with a storm to cover a little bit? Makes it harder to see the boat itself in its entirety.
When
Do you
I say the bay
see-
is narrow, it's narrow.
Also, do you see that as he points at like the storm? As you have a look, roll perception, everyone.
Cool. My answer is gonna probably be no.
Yeah, I mean, I probably don't have the doors closed.
Yeah, no, my point still stands. in my head.
I'll take the 18.
As everyone above a 16, is
So everyone except
yeah,
Christine.
Hi.
you see how that lightning is red?
Nope.
A bolt of red lightning passes across the sky.
Do I see it?
No, you
No.
don't.
No, I've no clue.
This is that's a magic storm. Due to our nice friend Whirlpool down there, as he points south. We're not gonna use that for cover, cause that's gonna use us as food.
We've already dealt with it once.
They never used to come this far north, but I don't know what happened a few months ago. I don't know, the sea's just been a bit rougher.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Do they seem to be moving closer, or is it just a sudden change in positioning?
It wasn't slow, but
Like an expanse, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like the world itself is breaking apart.
Been breaking for years.
Yeah, I think I know what might be, but you know, never mind. Let's continue.
But yeah, there's a difference between being on the edge of the Tempest and being inside a Tempest storm. Let's hope we don't have to deal with that and we can get to cover before it hits.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
So who's leading this farce?
Alright.
One of you. And he goes back to like fucking with the ropes.
On the sails, get on the rigging.
don't tell us what to do. You don't know what you're doing.
I know. Try to get in the port.
So, who wants to play captain?
What do you think I'm doing? Shut up.
No, not you. Don't tell me to shut up, you silly man.
I command you to shut up.
That's too
Whereabouts is this? I assume this is being somewhat piloted, somewhat from
Yeah.
above where
Yeah.
Agfa currently is.
Yeah, there's a ladder next to the door that goes up. The dude who was basically piloting Fucus' ship all night is also here piloting this ship now.
Agfa will climb up there. Do you know what sort of things the captain of this would have been like?
Nope. Kind of shot him. Well, stabbed him, burned him.
Probably an asshole.
Yeah, usually are.
I'd
Probably-
say from the track record with the notes and everything that rather torturous, cruel man.
Just memorize where they were meant to be going, so they'll attack along the way, and then go from there.
We know where they were going.
So
Exactly.
some other guy is just like, given the track record, probably someone who's scared shitless of Zircon Adamante and doesn't want to die as well. So probably a massive suck up.
I can't be me then.
Hmm?
Can't be me then. Alright, you win, Sylvie. Go ahead. Be captain.
Oh no, thank you. I am not captain material. Agfa, on the other hand, would
Ah,
make a
he's not
fantastic
piss-ass.
captain.
I don't know, I vote for Terra.
Oh yes, the person that is not here.
Yeah, there's this one lizard man who's kind of walking around, fiddling with ropes and stuff, but not really doing the same as everyone else.
Man, it's a shame my perception's garbage. Otherwise, I'd look down at my fucking necklace.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
It
assume
is well.
Christine could be magic user. Seems to make the most sense.
What about one of your men? You've been at sea a lot longer than the rest of us.
So the reason we haven't done this before, aside from the fact that we needed your help to get a boat, is that we've tried to act like pirates before, and that doesn't end well.
I see.
When we get there, we're just gonna stay on the ship and act like we're preparing it for repairs, and try to like say one, maybe 2-word answers.
Until all hell breaks loose, and then we will aid you in your conquest against the island. I'll just establish that.
15
So,
minutes. Maybe 20.
so I feel like all of the roles of like the lackeys, just the random people, are being filled up by like those other guys.
Yep, they're like, yep, that's us. We got this. Yep.
Yeah, the lucky
So,
roll.
were the
It's fun
bosuns?
boss.
Were all the bosuns like kind of burly, or were they just like?
Yeah.
I'm asking the DMs.
Bosuns are not like the bosuns weren't like particularly burly. Bosuns are the money men. Like
Okay.
they keep
Quartermaster, aren't they?
yeah, they keep track of money and food and make sure everything's running. The fact that this one had two is probably because Zirkon wants to make sure that the correct amount of money is going in. So someone's probably an inside man, from what you've gathered, being around pirates like this. The big bulky guys are typically like one of your lesser peons or your first mate.
You know what? Request to the DMs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I do either a perception or insight to look at each of the crew members, specifically the ones that came on board, not our people, to see do any of them actually stand out? Because you
Yeah.
mentioned one's fiddling, but I assume I don't see that passively, so...
Well, you can make a perception check.
Cool.
Or insight, honestly, either work. And then Terra can try a deception check.
Okay. I'm not trying to perceive if it's terror or not, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to see if any
No.
stand out.
Yeah, if someone stands out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can tell that there's one person who's just kind of mulling about, like not doing the same thing as everyone else.
They've picked the same rope up like 5 times and like tried a knot, but you know it's not a navy, like you know it's not a nautical knot. It's like a standard like knot that people think is really strong,
Not the
but
top
won't
level.
be.
That's
You
not a
there,
very good knot.
you there, lizard. Wait, were they lizard folk or dragonborn?
The dragonborn, but we're just saying lizard.
Okay, you there, dragonborn.
Lizard
Can
man.
you climb up here?
Alright. And they would sound like a roughly typical male dragonborn as well. They'll climb up.
How good are you at, your wordplay?
Nah, that's not happening, man.
You wouldn't be alone, but sure. If you don't want to be the captain in this scenario, then I've only got one other I will call up here.
I would make a terrible captain, trust me, mate. We'd be dead in
Very well then.
moments.
Yeah, Gary here is not really the captain type.
That's why they call me Gary.
Who's ever heard of a Captain Gary?
That's a fucking stupid
That
name,
magnificent
Gary.
captain name.
Ugh.
Alright then, Osiris, you're the most seafaring of us, get up here.
No, I know nothing.
Look, I understand you're trying to get in the role, but politeness goes a long way.
Osiris, please get your ass up here before I turtle shove you here myself.
I think you're struggling to grasp the concept.
Well,
Pretty
let
good
that
stuff there also.
water. Cyrus, please get up there.
I'm just ignoring him at this point.
I will helm this expedition, but as I've said plenty time, I cannot guarantee how I will react if I actually see Zircon.
That's fine, I'm not asking you to be the full-on captain.
You're a helmsman.
I'm asking you, well, let me reword it. I'm asking you to be captain, but I'm asking you to be a mute captain. You communicate what you want said through me.
Okay, we can try that.
Seems a bit too distinct.
I will say, let me see.
all
Let me
about
look at
fake
this real
Omega.
quick. Arc for again, everyone but Christine and Xavier. With your passive perception, you hear. Remember, I thought the captain said not to overact. I feel like that's overacting. I think that's really stupid of them. I should just pick a guy.
Whatever, it's their choice. I'm sure they'll figure. If shit goes wrong, they got it. It's all good.
If shit goes wrong, we're dead.
I hear that.
Like a dozen people at once.
I've got a rock or something I can throw at them.
It's like a
piece of
bucket.
rope or something nearby. Yeah, bucket.
I throw a bucket at them.
I don't want him to be captain. He's bad at it. He hits me.
Cyrus, I trust that you will do.
Isn't that a good
just
captain?
Fuck
Get lucky, I'm not aiming.
You're good with your words. And you do have a very strong semblance of self-control. I'm sure you can hold back at least for a little while.
I guess we'll really put it to the test.
All we need to do is get in the gates, and then you can do as you please.
With
I
all my
trust you.
offensive capabilities.
I don't know, I've seen you fuck up quite a few things with your mind. Anyway, I'm going to be a bosun because why not? They were standing here, I think.
I'm just gonna go take the first mate roll and
Sylvia always swears.
do something.
Nah.
Yeah, so you guys take whatever roles
I'll
you
be
think
another
fit.
boat.
Whoever's
Question.
in.
Does the captain hat and the fucking what's it called, the cloak
Cloak
fit?
hat.
I will willingly give you that.
They don't. I don't think they're built for a turtle. The hat could be. The hat could be, but the
I would
cloak
like
won't.
to cut a hole in the back of the jacket to like, well, what's the term? Friction fit my shell through, so it like pops in, and then that'll be hold it in place.
Okay.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Please, no, anything but that.
Just a dex.
May I help?
Yeah, you can have help.
I
Can
will
have
help.
help. Let's
Yeah.
go. Didn't help.
Hey, it's a bit better. It's a 69.
Might I
With
suggest you cut there instead?
With a 9, you do a cut, and you start pushing your shell through it. You hear tearing, which you expected, and it fits. You get your arms through both sleeves, and it's kind of sitting on either side of your shell.
Yep.
It's probably fine.
I will.
I cannot look.
He tries and reaches around to the spot and casts mending, but can't reach because his shell's so fucking big. And goes, fuck it, I give up.
Can I look?
You see, like, it's torn. It's basically torn completely down from about 2 inches below his neck all the way to the base.
Oh, like tailcoat.
Yeah, except it's just sleeves, about 2 inches of shoulder, and then just 2 long tails, one on each side.
But does it look cool? Can I roll performance for coolness factor?
Sure, you can roll performance.
Let's go.
Disadvantage.
Can I share Jeremy?
I'll take
Send Jeremy the
disadvantage.
image because this actually works perfectly with what I had planned.
That's what I thought. The person's a free anyway.
You rock that look, Cyrus, or at least you think you rock that look.
You rock
You know what?
Without a mirror, you do the best you can.
You know, it's not like the ocean is a mirror.
I am just like, it'll be fun. I guess just face forward. Don't let them see your back.
I will just say.
Back against the door, maybe?
I will say. I'll just say. I don't think they had a turtle captain. It's gonna
One of the other dudes nearby, one of the dragonborn's like, the fuck do you mean? There are turtles everywhere.
Turtles are like the strongest fucking people here. What do you want about? They won a war by being patient and killing everyone.
What the fuck?
Do you
they did
think-
that?
You
Sorry,
think
no,
chromatic dragonborns are dangerous? Nah, turtles got them covered.
Do you know why Akaya is Akaya and not like full of like nothing? Because the Dragonborns couldn't expand to the archipelago.
How long ago did that happen?
Ah,
Was it in my
fuck.
lifetime?
Let me.
Sorry, is it
Fuck.
just within my lifetime?
No, I need
Which
a.
was 130 years ago, because I think Osiris was like 20, maybe 30 at the time.
Yeah,
You
no.
prepared some wars while you were 20?
Yeah, Cyrus was a little
was
baby
barred
man
in
at
the
the
war.
time.
It
was history.
was.
Dude, how did you get like veteran status?
Maybe.
No, Cyrus wasn't even there. He was away. You were in
Okay,
school,
fine.
weren't you, Osiris?
I was at school.
I can't believe you left your home that was fighting a war. How unpatriotic.
Yeah,
Oh,
I left
yeah.
before the war started.
I
Yeah.
forgot
Well, you
about
should
this
have gone
history.
back.
Yeah, it's at least a century a bit.
Yeah, they used to tell me stories.
It was about 104 years ago is when the war was finished.
Maybe I read it in history.
Yeah, like people know of the Cartesian War. It's called the Cartesian Unification because it was a war where essentially everyone who wasn't Turtles tried to push the Turtles out of the KC, and they failed, and so instead the Turtles joined the KC.
Like,
What
there's
turtles
just
do to get pushed out?
What do they do?
Nothing.
They
We
existed.
existed.
Ah, I see. I'm on your
Yeah.
side now.
like that she sort of like mutters like, yeah, they were still licking their wounds when I was born.
You know, I got a great grandpa who was actually, no offense, he points to Osiris. No offense. I had a great grandpa who apparently was one of the defenders at Akaya, and he's told me horrible things. Horrible things. He just looks out at the ocean, shaking his head slowly.
Like the turtle has flashbacks.
Turtles are fucking metal. Like, when one dies, if they want to, if they're like battle brothers or some shit, they take their shell and give it to their battle brother as a shield. Like, so they can fight beyond death and protect their brethren. They're fucking freaks.
Back to Osiris.
Say they're cool metal.
Sorry, straight. The more you fuck around, the more you find out. And believe me, they found out.
Does that mean your shell is part of like inheritance to others?
Could be.
Yeah, yes, I also know this. It can be. It's not really a practice that carries on past war times, but yeah, a shell, giving someone a shell is really important.
Bequeathing someone your shell after death is like saying this person was closer to me than any other person, and they will keep carrying me into the next
Aw.
battle and the one after that.
It's like, because turtles have their own back,
Yeah.
and their battle brother
Ah.
that dies has their front.
Yup.
Oh, I love it.
Turtles fuck, man. If I played any martial class of turtle, this would be so fucking different.
Yeah.
It's not like
just
peace.
Below as
Weird.
a shield. That's sad.
You don't want to know how much me and AJ have written about the KC War in case you guys ever looked into it, and no one ever did, and we're like, okay, that'll just sit in the back burner.
It's not my war.
But no, there's time to pass. Short rests obviously have happened as people have rolled stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, one of the guys is just like, whoever's captain, question. Which of your crew is good at getting up towers and disabling mechanisms? Because we should probably discuss this net.
Gave me a night. It would have been me.
Point to the lion.
I can climb, but it's not like it's a specialty.
If I knew
It is.
beforehand that part.
You burnt down
Puppy.
churches.
We need someone stealthy, so
Or fast.
That I can do.
I'm not strong, but I'm nimble,
No.
and I am pretty stealthy.
Now, this information's gonna sound dumb, and I need you to not be like, and sigh about it.
Funny.
No, it's just that there's two towers and there's mechanisms that hold the net up, and you need to get rid of them. That's all the information we have.
Okay. I kind of wish I was informed of Plan B a little bit ahead of time to prepare myself better.
Well, not gonna lie, if you were informed of the whole thing, would you have come?
yes, that way
Probably.
it doesn't sound like such a half-cocked plan.
Just to save someone, we might have had to.
The guy looks around like, fuck yeah, Fuku's the best.
No, that doesn't count.
It's his plan, of course it counts.
Yeah, but you didn't tell us. Whatever.
Alright,
But-
well, does both have to be disabled, or can just one fall and then it can't be held in tension?
From what we can,
Shrugs.
from what it looks like, if it depends if it's pins or winches. If it's winches, then no. If it's pins, then yes. Unless you can, like, just cut a part of this chain. That'd be the dumb thing to do, cutting the chain, because you'd have to get to it, and it's spiky. It hurts.
Are there any magical, any zones that stop magic in this place you know of?
No. We know the island isn't good. Going overland would be tantamount to suicide. That's why we gotta go for the bay. But
I'm
and he points to
meaning-
the storm. As long as that doesn't catch us before we sort out what we're doing here, because when that reaches us, who knows what's going to happen.
If we get close enough and someone still has the capability of it, I believe 2 of us could potentially get in unnoticed. We could take out both at once.
Is it sneaky or fast? Whichever works.
Figured you
I
ought
can
to
do
know.
both.
As a backup, there's charm. Preferably as a backup.
We'll have a few moments when we get close enough to actually see what we're dealing with for last minute changes, but by the time we're that close, we can't make too much noise, or else they might be, If we're if all of a sudden we get into a huddle and start discussing what we're doing as the ship's pulling in, they might get a bit suspicious.
Looks a bit sus.
I suggest if we're going to send someone in that way, though, we probably want to send them into the cabin before sending them out.
Do whatever you want, but we've got about an hour before we get there. And at this point, you guys are going to see the start of an island on the horizon getting bigger and bigger. And this island is, I think, is not as big as Ikaya, but is it has like mostly near cliffs around a majority of it. And you start steering towards like what looks almost like an L bend in the island itself. And it's like, as we get closer, there's a concealed passage that should, there's a very narrow passage that should open up. We're better see. So, if you got anything to do in the next hour, now's the time.
Very well. And Osiris will pull the Viper's Blade out of the bag of holding. We might as well at least hand out what'll be more useful to people, and he'll slightly stick that into the deck. I don't know if you can make better use of that, Sylvie, but you're welcome to it. And then Osiris will take off his gloves and rest them on the hilt to whoever else is also going on to one of the towers. If you need a little bit of help climbing, take these. We have an hour tuned to them now.
I'm quite happy to attempt the tower. I can use some of my abilities to be able to climb, at least give me a bit more help climbing. And I am good at moving fast.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how well can you climb?
Would it be something I could roll a dexterity for, or would I have to use that?
Is athletics.
But I could use my wisdom with it.
You could. With if your arms are out, yeah, you could climb with the wisdom.
She's gonna have her arms out.
So that's a double no.
No, because I use my wisdom, and my wisdom is pretty high. I would get...
Can you? Is that like an expendable resource?
It's
Yes.
like, it's just a key point. It's not too bad. Like, it's something that I was going to cast anyway because it helps me with combat.
Alright.
It would make my athletics a +3 instead of a -1. Also, I have 40 feet of movement.
And I'll look at Akbar. Do you require some assistance climbing?
Unless I'm planning to dig my claws in, possibly.
Alright, well, I don't know how it's going to work with what you currently have equipped, but take these. And he'll hold out the gloves he has.
Got it.
Which are the gloves of swimming and climbing.
And anyone taking the Viper Blade?
I'll take it. It was offered to me.
Okay.
We get the rogue could make use of a finesse weapon.
Yeah.
Finesse weapon with free poison.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
You chucking them in the party sheet or something?
Yeah, someone's doing it for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I was looking at the parcel items like, when is it going to show up?
Yeah, 'cause
So the
it's
ship-
giving me things.
Ship continues to get closer. As it gets much closer to the island, you start to see this like passageway that is, if you're approaching the island from the wrong angle, it would be nearly impossible to see. But from the angle the ship is coming at it, you can start to see a curvature where the water appears to be rushing into a point, and you can realize that there is a narrow passage that leads deep into the island itself. As you start getting closer again, at this point you're only about 10 minutes out. You guys are like, alright, well, now's the time, final preps, so good luck.
Might want to get rid of Sclera if we haven't already done it, by the way.
Yeah, good point.
That is below deck.
But she could probably fit in the cabin barely. But she wouldn't fit.
There is no below deck.
Yeah, like the hatch to get into the village deck would be too narrow for her. But the cabin, she could squeeze through the doors. Okay. I was like, all right. Hopefully our intel on this place is good, and he's actually here. Good luck, everyone. Try not to die.
As the boat starts to go in after about 20 or so minutes, you can start to see the beginnings of this entranceway. No, you can't. Alright then.
Just kill it.
Let
That
me.
storm's clearly too dark.
Oh no, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, on stream it's there.
It's not here.
Yeah, there it is.
It's just loading. That's fine.
Yeah, it will load.
You see.
It's a pretty big map, so yeah.
You see a large boat. You see a large, narrow tunnel of water. In between, there's two large wooden platforms, and across this large chain that goes from the top of these buildings at the corners to the bottom of the water. On it, these chains seem to be barbed and spiked in some way. As you start to look, as you come closer, you can see that there are men on top of these towers, 2 of them at least, and you see one of them starts to get up and move closer towards the sides, and
One of the dudes on your ship picks up 2 flags and starts to wave them in an erratic pattern, and the dude at the top stands there for a minute, picks up 2 flags of their own and starts waving back down, and then you hear some winching as the giant, it's basically like a bead curtain but with spiked chains, as it starts to get lower and lower down into the water.
and you all start to approach. Before you go anywhere over the things, it seems to still be partially up, as you hear coming from down below, above. So, we heard that you got hurt. What happened?
We were doing our usual route, and out of nowhere we got absolutely decimated. We only just were able to get away. I don't know if we managed to lose them, but we did have to go through the outskirts of the storm.
Roll a deception.
Deception. Alright.
That's a nice roll.
The guy the dude walks up next to him, looks down, and like punches him in the arm and goes, "Look at their ship, there's blood all over the deck, you idiot."
No.
I like say like I'm holding my arm like it's been like cut.
Oh, the silver shit on the sailors as well. Weird. Yeah.
Still on
Dock 4 seems to be available. So, sail on through.
Shipwright will meet you down there. And the chain fully gets dropped into the water at this point as you hear the loud rumbling sounds as whatever mechanism on each side is activated fully descends to the water. The ship continues on past it.
Can I
Well
have
then-
perception to try and figure out if that's gears?
I'll also telepathically tell
Go
Team
ahead.
Towers to dive off the back of the ship and then swim,
Okay.
so they can't see.
Alright.
This will be Arkra and Sylvie.
I assume
If
so.
Team Towers are doing that, I'll need you both to roll stealth checks.
Yep.
I was gonna say
fine.
rather than diving, I'd like sort of slide down the side and then fall in, but
Yeah,
Dive
well-
was a colloquial term for get in the fucking water.
Yep. I get in the fucking water.
Yeah, the both of you drop off the back of the ship into the water. You're probably already hanging onto the back by the time you get here. And
Okay.
each of you can move however you want to add, if you want to add to the map, Asia.
Yep, let me quickly add them to the map.
I'm here to be glass
Um,
cannon.
With the 14 as well, you aren't sure 100% if it is a mechanism with gears and stuff, but it dropped rather quickly, so it could be like an anchor system where it's like a winch to wind it up and then it locks in place. So it could be a quick release of some sort, but you're not sure.
And I assume no one had invisibility.
Nope, I did. Didn't ask for it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
As you
One
continue, as the ship continues moving in, you guys can move yourselves to whichever side you want, either together or separate. But the ship moves in, you notice these two large stone outcroppings on either side, where it appears like there was some kind of channel here initially. It was carved by the water, and what's left of these large stone outcroppings has this very flimsy looking rope bridge connecting the two parts together. You pass under it.
Further inland, you see raised podiums, not as tall as the towers before, but two raised podiums with heavy crossbows, heavy ballista like nailed down onto them. As you're getting further in, you can see that there are a decent number of men here, probably around maybe just over 50 from what you can tell in different parts of the island. Walking along either the paths or on the platforms, talking in groups. As you get past here, you can see there's a large like communal campfire area, so there's like a group of 10 or 20 there. And as you get further in, you can see this bay has 3 vessels in it, one much larger than the other, and the other two quite similar to your keelboat.
Osiris, could you roll me a history check?
But of course.
All 3 vessels here rock the same flag that you guys do as well, but Osiris, as the ship turns and starts to move into position at this 4th docking point, your eyes fall upon this larger ship that you pass, and it is a ship you have seen before.
While the others have the 2-bladed tonfa that are on fire, that on every ship, this one seems to have a more embellished Jolly Roger. There seems to be a skull with like rubies in the sockets. That you know this is the main ship. This is where Zircon was.
I would also like to. So I assume there was some sort of chest that the tithe was, that the money that we found was in.
Yes,
Yep.
like a strong box.
I will take. I'll put. How much did we find in it?
220.
And you were given 35 of it.
I'll put 300 gold in it.
So the ship
Split it again.
starts to pull in towards the edge. As the ship starts to pull into position at this dock, you see a few, like more than a dozen different people getting up from over by this covered area and start walking towards the ship itself. A handful are carrying tools, others are just like kind of moving with food or drink in hand. As they start to approach the ship, you have people, the sailors you have with you, start to throw ropes down and tie it off as the ship comes to a stop.
By the point where they meet the bridge, at this point the winches have been raised again and the netting is back up.
Who's going to be my number 2 in these things and stand by me to make me look bigger?
I will.
Alright. I get
don't
you
think the
to
mage
hold
is the right
the
person.
chest that's got all the gold in it. As I stand there. Once the ship is docked, I'll start walking down the gangplank and lock eyes with one of the people that are bringing provisions, and I'll like snap my fingers, like what's the term I'm looking for? Impatiently, and motion for him or them to come over and give me a drink.
Yep. So as the ship stops, the gangplank is placed. You start to make your way to the edge of it. These people, you snap at this guy. He looks around for a minute, like me. And as we see the reaction of how that will go, that's where we'll end it for the night.
Oh.
We'll deal with this place next week or next fortnight.
Tomorrow? Yeah.
Listen, I will do tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
My first game tomorrow.
Nice.
Nice.
But yeah. Do any of our streamy people have streamy things they want to stream about?
Nothing at the moment.
Terminarch Part 2 next week. Let's go. got the major fights out the way. Maybe more shenanigans. Who knows? It'll be fun. Jeremy was robbed, but also suck shit.
It happens.
Tomorrow I'll be
Be
playing.
reminded.
Tomorrow I'll be playing some more Nier Replicant. It's gonna be a good time. Tuesday is gonna be more Dust and Elysian Tale. I think I'm towards the end of that game. I'm not entirely sure, but it's ninjas. Thursday, Wednesday's more Pokemon. Thursday is more Divinity. I had to take tomorrow off. I died. I needed brain to fix. I had a nap before I went to bed. Like, that's how bad yesterday was for me. And yeah, next Friday will be session 15, I think. No, chapter 15. Chapter 16, of Guardians Rebirth. They're fighting things in the desert, like the rivers in the desert. And we're back in 2 weeks' time for chapter 55, Pirate Land Part 1.
Yeah.
But for now, I think we all bid you adieu. Have a good evening, and see you later.
See ya.